what we did with it. Real life. Real life.
I think that we just holding on to something. I think that we just holding on to something.
Let's go, everyone. Welcome to Underground Crypto. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it very much. Got another great stream for you guys tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend. And I will catch you in just a couple minutes.
I think that we just holding on to something. I think that we just holding on to something. Just tell me what's on your mind.
Shout out to Melissa. Did you just join the membership? I just got that up and going. I even made some custom emojis. I really wanted to make more custom emojis, but apparently I got to get like 8 members first before I am allowed to make more emojis for you guys. So for anybody who's listening to the sound of my voice, there is a new feature. I'll talk about it a little bit more in a minute. But I'd love to see those custom emojis in the chat because I haven't seen them in action. You know, I just made them. Hopefully they're proper. All right, here we go. A lot of stuff has gone on with crypto over the weekend. We did stream Saturday, but I didn't stream yesterday, so I'm sure we got some things to catch up on. And so welcome to Underground Crypto. I appreciate you being here. I got a couple of things to announce. One of them, Melissa already found it there, is the membership. Launch the membership. It's nothing crazy. You get some, channel specific emojis. You get your name changes color the longer that you've been here to show, seniority. I thought it was cool. I figured I'd add it. Why not have it? Everybody else has them on their channel, so we should have them too. That's how I feel about it. And with no delay, let's get into these crypto bubbles. Somebody let Bankroll know that we are live. Cams to all our people. I'm sure Blues Guy will show up here soon. I just saw he liked something, so he's got to be here soon. And yeah, Melissa, let me know if you have access to those custom emojis. You should see them. One of them is like the logo. You should definitely recognize them as being different. Anyways, MYX. Oh, we're on the hour. I knew something was wrong. So MakerDAO up 30%. Look at that. Very odd straight up move. Very squarish. That's usually not a good sign in a chart. River 15.5%. It ran up to $31.25. Now it's at $30.82. So not a huge pullback. We got Quant up 8.7%, $87, sitting at 84 right now. Midnight is up 12.4%. Hey, the altcoins don't seem to care about all this drawback. I wonder if they can keep that energy, keep that momentum. Let's drop down another 100 and see what's going on here. More big losers than gainers. ZBCN is a crowd favorite here. It is up 7.8% to 0.00338 from 0.003. So it's moved up a nice little move here. 7.8%. Basic attention token. I've gone over this coin a bunch of times. Oh, there they are. Cool. I wish I could make more of them. It'd be really cool to have more channel specific emojis, but I gotta get 8 members first to unlock more emojis. So in the future there will be more. It was a lot of fun trying to figure out how to make them, put them in the right size, upload them to YouTube. That was a lot of fun. 8.2% basic attention token. Decred 6.4%. Even the Lifer went over Decred this morning. Mana 6.2, which is Decentralized. So we're seeing a lot of things have healthy pumps now. Merrill, Humanity, Ultima, they had some pullbacks today. I see Pulse had some pullback. Hex must have. Yep, Hex and Pulse, those things move together. And let's drop down one more 100 here. Rose. I haven't heard of Rose in a long time. We used to trade this in the Lifer channel all the time back in the day, about a year and a half ago at least. 39.5% on the daily, 0.013 all the way up to 0.02, so 2 cents. Still hanging just barely under 2 cents right now. Soon with a 10% pump. Mina, man, I wonder where I own some of this, and I wonder where I'm at with it because I've held it for quite some time, and the market has been pretty bad for like the last year or so. Not been nice to altcoins, that's for sure. All right, let's move on to our usual, rundown of the prices. So BTC at $92,588. How do you feel about it? See the overall market cap, 3.21 trill. So there you go. That's above 3 trill. That's good for me. Ethereum 3,183. BNB flipped XRP still. It's 929. Oh, Campston in the house. Thank you for being here. Melissa, tell Campston the news. We have custom emojis, channel emojis I made last night. And BNB is 2.7% up on the last 7 days, $929. XRP just dropped under $2. So as I always say, BTC above 90, Ethereum above 3,000, BNB really above 850, but really 900 is better. And then XRP above 200. Well, we got most of those. Hopefully XRP will pop back up. I don't know why XRP would have a bad time right now. Maybe because BTC took another little dump, but it really just dumped down to the 0.786. I'm going to show that in a minute. After we do our prices, I'm going to pull up the chart. Whether right before or right after is going to be the main flow of how it goes. Bankroll down to 77 bucks. LOL. What does that mean? Like he only has 77 bucks left in his trading account? Very nice. We have custom emojis. Yes, we sure do. They're in the members department there. You got to pay, I think it's like $2.99 a month for the custom emojis. I just made them because every channel has the memberships. We might as well have one too. Solana, $133. Dogecoin, 12 cents. Did I say Cardano? I know I said Solana. Okay, I thought I was mixing them up. Cardano is 36 cents. Oh, okay. 77 to web trade with, trying to keep a bankroll of 100. Got you. I don't know what the emojis in the other than the underground was. So one of them is the underground logo. The other one is a brain with the BTC logo in the middle of it. The other one is like a respect one where he's like, you know, he's like bowing kind of thing. And then the other one is like the palm to face, like somebody doesn't understand. You know, you're trying to explain to something to somebody and eventually you just got to palm to forehead because they're just not going to get it. They should have little names under them and stuff. I don't know how that comes through, but I named all of them. So Monero at $611, down 3.9%. You're going to see some pullbacks and some slight recoveries here. That's pretty much what's going on with all of BTC. XLM at 21 cents. Zcash $369. How far this thing has fallen, I don't really see Zcash recovering much, but it's possible. SWI $1.56 for SWI, fallen 11.5%. They did have that outage on the network. That was not good for them. That is not what they needed, right? Hyperliquid $23.59, Avalanche $12.69. We're going through these pretty quick today. Let's go see where Flare's at. On to the next page. Flare at 107, so it moved up one, I think, from 108. We're always keeping an eye on that. The video that me and Blues Guy did for Firelight, which is where you can wrap your XRP on Flare and then you can stake it on Firelight. Staking XRP is not readily available everywhere, and so that is, I think, an awesome video. It's been doing really well. Made a reel for it today. Hopefully you saw it. And let's port you over to TradingView. Let's take a look at this BTC right now. Let's see what we got going on. So right off the bat, it does look like there's an inverted head and shoulder. We are on the 5-minute time frame here. Are we going to get an inverted head and shoulder? If we did, it would have a pretty nice move for the way price action's been right now. Let's go ahead and pull that measured move from the neckline. And that would get us 5-minute back above the 200 up to 93,326. We will leave that kind of on the burner and see what happens. See if we get that move here. And I did download Bookmap. Where is it? That's a good question. I want to pull that up and show that as well. Cool. All right. And we will keep it moving here. Let's back out to, say, the 15-minute. Now, on the 15, I feel like we've evaded it, but it does, if you just draw your little flag, it does kind of feel like you might be getting something like this with that big drawdown measured move. And I will show the liquidity on Bookmap, so you'll see that this is a possibility. This could definitely happen. Supposed to continue crashing tomorrow on NYC Open. Hey, supposed to for BTC. Almost when you feel like everybody, like, think about it. Everybody thought it was going to 100K, like right then and there, and it didn't happen. So when everybody thinks it's going to dump, there's a chance it might not happen. Usually the heavier the sentiment seems to think that they know where it's going, it's a good chance it's gonna evade them. It's gonna go in the opposite because that's where all the money is made, doing the opposite of what everybody thinks it's going to do. Let's go to the hour. I mean, you have, from my understanding here, you've got tweezer bottoms over here. Looks like quite a few of them. And let's go to the 4 hour. And so that 4 hour hasn't lost its 200. That would be, as price comes down, this will move up. So it'd probably be somewhere around 90,923. And so there you go. That would be really big if we lose the 4 hour. 200. I'm pretty sure we lost the 200 on the 1 hour. That 4 hour is definitely a big sign to me from all my years with the lifer. 4 hour loses the 200 and doesn't get immediately back. It's one thing if it wicks under it for the 4 hour and comes right back up very quickly. That's one thing. But if we lose it and we're not getting back above it anytime soon, in like 8 hours, probably dump. No, yeah, it's slow bleeding downward. I noticed that underground. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you get sentiment to run one direction and think that they know what's going on. Everybody's positioned to lose their money. And that's what the market makers love to do, because that's when the market makers make the money. And they're not here for charity. Anybody who told you that the market makers are here to be charitable people and make sure that you just have somewhere to trade, they're lying to you. I gotta tell you that. They're here to make money. They make billions and billions of dollars. And where do you think that billions of dollars come from? Right out of your pocket. Anyways, I think that's really all there is to say. We could hop into the 1 minute and just see what the heck is going on. 1 minute back above the 200, threatening to lose it. All right. I've got some alerts set up here. Oh, I know one thing I wanted to show. Let's go to the 5 minute. Hopefully this is not too messy for you guys here, because I do got a lot of lines going on, so this might be a little messy. Just look for the purple line. That's what matters to me. That's the 786. So when we pull the full range here on the fib, then you wicked right to the 786. And I've seen it do it again. I've seen it do it 2-3 times before you eventually get the move up. That's not uncommon in my opinion. But for me, where you pulled the fib from, that's what it has to hold. That's the 0 line, right? And if it doesn't hold that bottom, this whole Fibonacci thing is cooked. Like if you see you break, where's my drawing? If you break down here and get below that, or just even break it, even on a wick, I immediately negate any Fibonacci retracement and hope of bullishness. At that point, it's gone. Right now, we did a beautiful bounce off the 786, and then look what happened when we bounced off that 786. Man, it moved up. And so, yeah, in my opinion, as long as we don't lose that 0 line, we could be in store for a big pump. You said that we're going to most likely, dump in NYC, and it could happen. I have Bookmap, and I want to pull that up for you right now. No, I do not want to record live data. It'll fill your computer up so fast. And I'll have to port over to this. I got to open it up and stuff, so give me a half a second here. They have done it in the past and fooled everyone and pissed off. Yeah, a lot of folks took their money too. Oh, yeah, that's the name of the game. Remember, in trading, for you to make money, somebody's got to lose money. And that goes the same for the market makers. Market makers are really no different there. For them to make money, somebody's got to lose money. I mean, they make money off of trades and stuff like that too, don't get me wrong. But they make a lot of money off of liquidations. That's where the majority of the money is. Think like, even on big trades, $10, $20 per trade, they're making money. They're making money. But when you get liquidated for multiple figures, for 6 figures, 5 figures, they really making money at that point. So I'm just over here setting up. Just setting up Bookmap real quick. I had to re-download it on my computer. Why is it giving me ADA? I don't want ADA. So weird. I've never had to do this to me before. Yeah, BTC USD. Why would I want to look at ADA on a heat map? All right, now I can port you guys over so you can see what I see. Let's go to Le Bookmap. All right, and I'll have to adjust it again. I just re-downloaded it, so basically it's not where I want it. And we gotta mess with the sensitivity. I haven't had to reset this up in a while. And they're always adding new features, so I don't always know what all of them mean. Okay, so I want that on full blast. I want it like that with the red. Okay, and I actually like to dim it down a little bit. Make the bubbles a little bit bigger. I really feel like the one on my other computer looks different, but I might just be tripping there. All right, so this is Bookmap. If you're not familiar with it, I'll get the settings dialed in a little bit more on my own time. I don't want to waste anybody's time here. And let's see. Yeah, right now there is a little bit more liquidity to the downside. We're very zoomed in, right? Just look at the intervals that it moves in. You know, it goes from, it's moving in like sets of 40. So if we zoom out, it'll change that. And you see the big liquidity here. Here's the thing. The big liquidity is at 86,000, but it's very far away. So that's a plus. And on top of that, it's really not that much. 500, you got 3 under it. It's a decent amount, but it's not like thousands. Before we had like, I don't know, what was it, like 1,300 BTC in one spot? That was problematic, and that moved. A lot of that, like half of it or more, is moved now. So that tells me that maybe people are feeling like we're not going to get that low. What I do like is your closest red here, which your closest red is 94,000. And then once we start to move, a lot of times you'll see this lower liquidity start drying up, and it'll start stacking to the upside, and that is when you will get some actual good move there. I think I might have this thing a little bit too sensitive. Let's turn that down just a tad. No? Man, there's another setting here that I need. But anyways, this is Bookmap. We'll check in with it periodically. There's a lot of liquidity at 86,000. Don't think it can't happen. Where we are right now, there's, 1,229 BTC, kind of right above where we are, like literally like $10, $20, $30 up. And then 678. So there's more to the upside at this moment. And then we have this liquidity at 94. I would say we probably get up to 94,000. In my experience, a lot of times, like, we'll get up to 94,000, right? And if more liquidity doesn't start building above it, then you're probably going to get pulled back down. If liquidity continues to build above it, then you're probably going to keep getting pulled up. And that is just kind of how it goes. Now let's get back over into what is trending for crypto. The cryptocurrency, what is trending? We use CoinGecko. Let me small talk while I try to figure out exactly how to get over to it. I do it constantly. You think I'd know, but I have way too many things open on this laptop. I wonder if that big drop flushed all the lev trades out again like October 10th. Yeah, I mean, that's what they do. So before we even get into what's trending, since it's just us and the main people hanging out for a minute, yeah, think about it. So if people are on high lev and the move is going up, the move is moving up, they actually start to stop the momentum by all those really large longs that come in on high leverage. So there's the amount of money that they're longing, and then there's the amount of leverage that they're using. That's exposure in the market, and it just becomes so much, think of it like weight. Like, it's pumping up, but people keep adding weight to it. Eventually it's going to get so heavy it's going to stop pumping, and it's going to level off and go sideways, try to hold that weight. And most of the time then it gets so heavy it just falls back down and takes a bunch of people out. They can't allow people to go with them all the way up. You think about how the market makers are making money. If people are on high leverage and it goes in the direction they want it, they're losing money. That's not what they don't want to lose money. They want to make money. So they're going to come down and flush everybody out. You can almost set your clock to it a little bit. And I even got caught up in it, and I know better. Just haven't been trading for a while, and I made an impulse move. It happens. Thank you, Melissa, for the super chat. Got our first super chat and our goal to 5 super chats. And that is Happy Monday with a popcorn. Hey, it's Monday. I'm feeling good. Regardless of what crypto's doing, I'm going to be here raising my crypto IQ. You guessed it. So thank you for the super chat, Melissa, and the constant support and the membership. Man, you guys are awesome. So Oasis, or Rose, I don't know why they went with Rose as a ticker. I haven't looked at this coin in a really long time. We used to trade it all the time, but I don't really remember what it was. I don't know if I ever really looked at it. Did you bail out of your long underground? No, I moved my liquidation down to 87,000. Because even if we go down to like 86, I'll have to obviously add some money and move it even lower. But I think that they're just flushing. And I think there's a good chance that we actually get some pump tomorrow. But we'll see. Nothing is promised. I only know the fact of my own ignorance, and I never give financial advice. Bam, there it is. All right. So, Pudgy Penguins, Sandbox. So, a lot of gaming stuff getting some heat. What is that about? I mean, Pudgy Penguins has some game stuff to it, but it's been trending. Pudgy Penguins is always trending. Yeah, your deep butt. Exactly. Man, I just got to say this because I know Camps is probably relevant. We talked about it the other day. For the longest time, I didn't realize what I needed to do was add margin, not more money to the position. I go to how much money I have, I'd add more money to the position. It would lower my stop loss a little bit, but not like what I was looking for, like not the amount I was really looking for. And so I just added, I was only trading with $100, just added like $400 or $500 to margin just to get me super low. Now, if they chase me down there and I run out of money, which I shouldn't, I should have plenty of things I can move around. But when you're using like $1,000 to protect 100, can feel a little crazy. And if I lose 600 instead of the 100 I was trading with, you'll also feel a little bit crazy. So that's the game right there. The sandbox, again, Axie Infinity. These are all older gaming coins and stuff. I'm surprised Gala isn't in here. Is Gala in here? No, Gala's probably the next one to go. Mark my words. Never financial advice. How do you add margin without increasing your position? Good question, and I would be glad to pop over. Again, all I know is transparency. A lot of people say it. The only people I know, well, I know personally, but the only people I trust that are really transparent is like the lifer. A lot of the other people who you follow, don't trust it. Anyways, you'll see, like, here's your chart. You're on Weex. This is pretty much the same anywhere else. Where you click to add margin can be a little bit different depending on where you are, but you'll find it. It's there. And then over here on the side is where you add to a trade, right? Or you drag this little bar, you add something. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to come down, and right here it says margin, and there's a little plus sign. And you come here. Now you can also reduce margins. This is how you can take money out of the margin. Of course, that will change my liquidation level. So this is where you add. I've added everything to it. I'm going to probably put a little more money over here because you don't want to wait until it's diving for your liquidation to decide that you're going to try to move money around, because it takes a second, right? And so you want to have that already ready to go. But yeah, you click that little plus button, you add to margin, and it, because it's all going to margin, it's going to move your your liquidation price, not your stop loss, your liquidation price. It's going to move it pretty significantly. Hopefully that answered your question. Now let's move on here. So Monero Poll, Bitcoin Dusk is a newer one on the radar. I'll touch on that. Resolve, not new. I've gone over it a long time ago, but it looks like it got a nice 51% pump today. We'll check it out, see what that railgun back on the radar, but it's down 17.9%. So maybe not on the radar for all the right reasons, right? All right. So what do I want to look at? First, Rose, because I think a lot of people don't know what Rose is. If you're just rolling in, smash that like button for me. And, subscribe. There is a link to the Discord in the chat. That is our Discord that we are always hanging out in when we're not live streaming. A lot of great people in there. We have a very tight-knit community. Anyways, Oasis, or Rose, is chilling at almost 2 cents, 0.018. Oh, look at Camsta. Just by adding to my margin, don't liquidate me, baby. Hey, thank you for the super chat, Camster. You're the best. And yeah, exactly. It's a good trick, and I wish I would have understood it better, because I probably would have saved myself from losing that $4,500 that one time. So there you go. There's that. Because I added it to my position. Now that I think about it, it makes my blood boil just a little bit, because if I would have added that money to my margin, I never would have lost my money. You live and you learn. It's the price of tuition, right? $138.1 million in market cap. Max Chart says this thing came out at about high 3 cents, November 18th. It had a really nice high here. Let's see. Down here, it was easier to get the all-time high at 59 cents. It is down 96.8% from that high, and that high was about 4 years ago, so last market, right? But what is Rose? It's got a BNB smart contract, 10 billion max supply, 7.5 billion circulating supply. We'll go to the website. We'll check out the Twitter. But let's see what they say. It's a layer 1, proof of stake. And then they have a bunch of portfolios here. Crypto Base's top 50 index. Really, it's made it into that. That's kind of significant. It's very interesting. And we are up to 2 super chats out of our goal of 5. That is awesome. 100% confidential, 100% public, or anywhere in between. So a lot of privacy talk. Maybe that's why this thing is getting some pump. Seems like it's in that realm somewhere. Let's see if we could dial it in, right? We got the category. Let's niche it down. 288.4 thousand followers. Not bad at all. Pin post from December 23rd, 2025. Not that long ago. I see some crazy pin posts. They'll be like from like 6-7 months ago. 33,000 impressions here. 33,000 impressions is pretty low. I mean, I know it's relatively new, and this was about wrap-ups. Let's dive into key Oasis moments from this year, right? I'm going to say for this year. Off-chain framework for trustless confidential computation is ready for the world use. Very short promotional video, just kind of showing off. We'll go to their website, so we'll be checking all of that stuff out. They have a decent amount of followers, but this project's been around sometimes. Look at Blues Guy coming in the house. What's up, Blues Guy? Thank you for the super chat. Says, gratitude, Underground, my man. Sorry, I'm tied up 30 minutes-ish. We're going to be here for you, Blues Guy. And, we got some announcements that you don't know about yet. So, welcome in, and let us know when you're here and you're able to, really be here. We'll talk about it. So let's go to Oasis Protocol it's just actually oasis.net. Here's the website. Smart privacy for Web3 and AI. Better apps require smart privacy. Build better Web3 on the only confidential Ethereum virtual machine in production. So it's been around a while. I hope it's got good working products. I haven't really heard anybody talk about it in a really long time, but I guess it's stayed up there. What is it by market cap? It is number 358 by market cap, so it's not that high. Build applications with the power of off-chain computation and on-chain trust. So you see a problem. So let me talk to you guys for a minute, because this is really where we wish to raise people's crypto IQ, understanding things in crypto that are important. So we talked about narratives a lot. We talked about why some make it, why don't. The ones that make it cycle after cycle is because there's a very big issue out there, right? And somebody is trying to solve it. Those projects usually go term after term or cycle after cycle because they're still promising a fix for it, even if they haven't completely fixed it yet. Think cross-border payments, XRP. There you go. Why is it still relevant? Because if you've tried to move a significant amount of money cross borders, like from America to Japan, you're going to notice that it costs a lot of money and there's a lot of things involved if you use the traditional SWIFT system. So the problem still exists. That's the part I really want you to key in on in your mind. An issue, a problem. Just like I always say, every good business solves a critical problem, a real problem that many people deal with. When they solve that problem and they have a good product, and so these crypto startups are, think of them as companies, new startup companies, not coins and currency. They just have a coin that goes with it, but they're really like a startup company. And if they have a good solution to the problems that they're solving, then they're probably going to do well. But we also talked a lot about hype. We talked about hype on Saturday. That was the last day of that series. We're starting a new series today, but they all go together because they're all crypto. But this keeps us a little bit more focused. So what I want to try to say here is there's a problem, apparently, and a lot of these projects are trying to solve it when it comes to blockchain technology, apps, dApps, we would call them, decentralized applications, and scalability. There's a big issue here. If you stay on a lot of the blockchain side of things, like, you have a lot of trust, you have a lot of security, but scaling is really difficult. When you switch to try to scale more, right, because you have a lot of users who want to use you, then all of a sudden you're losing a lot of your privacy, security, the trust, and you're kind of asking everybody to just trust you without being able to prove that you're trustable, and that is a problem. So everybody's trying to figure out how to make them go together, and so we could dial in on another day what specifically is the issue there. All right, that was our crypto IQ raising event. Before we get to the crypto IQ raising event, which is who actually controls blockchain, that's a big, bold, kind of vague statement, but we're going to dial it in for you when we get to that part of the show. Anyways, the reason why I brought that up is because this is very much what Oasis is about. Scale beyond limits. What are the limits? The limits are scaling in general. Build applications with the power of off-chain computation and on-chain trust. more speed and power in off-chain, more trust on-chain. ROFL delivers confidential, verifiable computing to scale your apps beyond the limits of any chain. So whether you wrap your head around what this really means for crypto as a use case and as a problem that's solved, a pain point is what they call it in most businesses, just know that it is a big deal to those people whom it concerns. People with a lot of money who are making projects. So Oasis Sapphire, build confidential apps. And I think we did a good job of covering it. It's got a lot to do with privacy. So if you can scale and keep it private, secure, and verifiable, then you are going to be able to take it to the masses, and you're going to be able to actually do what a lot of people tried to do. I'm going to say maybe they have a good use case. They've been around. Maybe they have a good reputation. And maybe a lot of people are using them. Now, what I hope, here's the problem. This is all worth saying. I know that we're going over what's trending, and I'm taking a minute to really explain stuff to you, but really I hope you can hear me out. So Oasis, like any project, they may have a great solution, but the tokenomics and the white paper need to be set up right. So where the money that they make from providing this service, just like any company, you pay your phone bill all the time. Well, if your phone company was a cryptocurrency and had a token, does any of the money that they're making go into the market cap of their coin, or does it just go into their treasury, which you never see and never influences the price of that token? That's the thing with Oasis. Are they pumping because they have a lot of users using their product? I don't know. Let's see. We got Frank Glacier here with a 333. You must be a lifer. I appreciate your Bitcoin TA and Bookmap. Thank you very much. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for dropping a super chat. I don't know that name. I hope that you're gonna, come around and join our community, or at least give it a chance. No pressure. But there's a link to the Discord in the chat. Check that out and come over and say hello and tell us what you love about crypto. We're all about raising people's crypto IQ. That's what we're all about. All right, enough of my rant. We'll continue to move on because I will get to rant plenty more. Dusk is another one. I was confusing it at first with Dust, which is a currency of Midnight. Midnight is with Cardano. It's a privacy layer, if I remember correctly, actually made by Charles Hoskin. If a lot of people don't know, that's what all the rage is about, because it's one of the most new innovative things going on in Cardano. It's made to work with Cardano, and it's like the privacy coin of Cardano. So if you're bullish on Cardano, then you should probably be bullish on the privacy coin of Cardano. Anyways, I digress. And it's made to kind of plug into anything they already have and make it very private. Very cool. Evening, everyone. Welcome in. Exactly. Welcome in. Welcome in. So 100.7 million in market cap. We got Dusk. It's at 20 cents. We will go to the max chart. Now, this is not Dust, right? This is Dusk. So not what I was talking about with Cardano, but that's what I was confusing it with. July 6, 2019. That was a while ago. That's like ancient history in crypto. And what's up with all the really old coins finally getting a pump? Kind of crazy. I think most people already had sold them and washed their hands from them. But if you didn't, maybe you could make it out back to where you were. I don't know. A lot of them have a long way to go. 100 billion max supply. Circulating supply is 500 million. So 1 billion max supply, 500 million circulating supply. Hopefully I said that right. Tokyo seems to be dumping BTC again. Is that true? Where are we at? Yeah, they sure do look like they're doing that. Again, I'm just hoping that zero line holds. If that zero line gets broken, I'm going to probably load up a little bit of money to protect my position. Because to be honest, at some point you can get your liquidation so low that they're not going, at least unless you're in the full-blown bear market, you're not going to go to, 30K, 20K. But it takes quite a bit of money to get yourself that low. Axie Infinity, Monad, Aster, Resolve was kind of the next one on the list I wanted to touch on. Not a new token, I don't believe. Oh, it is newer. Okay, July 9th, 2025. I remember when we first started going over it, but I never remember if it was because it had just came out or if it was trending and that's why we were going over it, and I just didn't know what it was, so we spent some time on it. 10 cents, almost 11 cents here. That is June 9th, 2025. 39.8 million in the market cap, a billion max supply, and 361.5 million circulating supply. So it is low, just a little bit over 25% there vested. Tokenomics are extremely important. If you don't understand tokenomics at all, please throw a 111 down in the chat and maybe we can help you with that. And if you don't want to do that for some reason, come over to the Discord. The link's in the chat, and ask some questions. We'll be glad to help you out. We have a wonderful, very tight-knit community. I call us crypto family because a lot of us are really that close. We have a voice chat in our Discord where we'll hang out and talk together sometimes, and then we really get to know each other and be a lot closer. Anyways, Ethereum BNB smart contract. Resolve, there's their website. Twitter, we'll check that out. But let's go down to categories. We have Coinbase Venture Profile, and then we have Delphi Venture. Okay, so it's a stablecoin issuer. That's what Resolve is. And let's go see how much attention they have. I mean, a stablecoin issuer, I don't know. Do they have a lot of attention? No. Kind of what I suspected there. 40.8 thousand followers. Pinned post from December 9th. That was a little bit ago. 27,000 impressions. I don't know. This stuff is usually pretty lost on retail. They don't have any stake in the game. They can't buy the token and really make any money usually if it's a stable coin. Now, this is a company that issues stable coins, so their actual coin could go up. Again, you got to know about the tokenomics. You got to know about the white paper and make sure that it's designed so the money runs into the market cap. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter how successful they are, and it doesn't really matter how much money unless they're doing token buybacks. A lot of them don't have the setup to where the money flows into the market cap that they make, but they'll do a lot of token buybacks, and that can kind of give you a little bit of this deflationary, vibe that you're looking for. All right, so financial layer for stablecoin return. Stablecoin APR 30 days, 4.6%. Really? See, that's not so bad when they say 30 days, though. That's actually really good. I wouldn't mind messing around with it and seeing if I get it. I'd put, $100 in there and see if I get $30 within 30 days. If I do, now you're talking. Now you're speaking my language, because that's every 30 days. That's different than like APY or something for the year. And APR, APY, they're a little bit different. We're not going to get into that right this second. So they have this USR and this RLP, Resolve Liquidity Pool, and Delta Neutral Stablecoin. So they have liquidity pools, they have stablecoin. This is very, very standard financial stuff in crypto. Bridges, swaps, DEX even now, a lot of DEX. And then, of course, liquidity pools and stablecoin staking of other coins. Like, those are like really the main things you're going to see with any project that's financial. All right, so let's move on. Resolve wasn't like a new coin on our radar, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. From here, we usually jump over to Crypto Rank. We use them in tandem. We use both of them. And we want to look at the Fear and Greed Index. This, to me, it's been weird lately. The Fear and Greed Index has been all over the place. Like, we were down, in the 20s or lower, 16 even a month ago. And this is average, right? An average month 20, average last 7 days 26. Then we were up to 61, and then we immediately a couple days later pulled back into the neutral zone, and now we're back in the fear. So it's been kind of chaotic. I want to go to like the 7-day chart. I love charts because it's a visual representation of data. For most people, that is really going to help you wrap your mind around what the heck is going on, because you can have a bunch of numbers and data thrown at you, but without a visual representation, it can be a little difficult to really understand it. And for some reason, it doesn't want to load. So we'll come back to that later. The takeaway here is we are back in the fear at 32. There is uncertainty in the market. A lot of times that's when a lot of people load up, but it can go a lot lower. So you gotta make your own decisions. Never financial advice on this channel. So stable. Of course, stable is a stable coin, but the price is not $1, or it's not a stable coin. It's like a stable coin company. You know what I mean? So I've been over stable a month. It's not worth going over. Swarm network? No, Swarm network. Get to talking a little bit too fast. Got to slow down. So right here, Swarm Network is dedicated to building a multi-agent collaboration framework that empowers individuals to own, manage, and monetize AI agents. So what's the category? AI. What's the niche? AI agents. This innovative system transforms single agents into dynamic swarms. One thing that's really important when it comes to AI agents and efficiency is swarms of AI agents. So if you thought it would be cool to have an AI agent that did stuff for you, like a ChatGPT that continued working maybe prompted, but you didn't have to tell it every move to do, right? It kind of knew what to do. Think of having 50 ChatGPTs running at one time. You could set them all in different strategies and all kinds of different things. It gets kind of wild, but AI swarms is one of the big things that you need for AI to really work well, that authenticate real-time data, secure it on chain, and drive applications across Web3 landscapes. Real-time data, oracles, things that feed data real-time that are verifiable, trustable, and actually are in real time so that they're not super late. Sometimes, like ChatGPT, you'll go ask it a question, something happened in the news, like somebody just, significant passed away within the last 8 hours. A lot of times ChatGPT doesn't even know it yet. They'll tell you that it never happened. I've asked them to be like, oh no, this person's still alive, and I'm like, it's literally on the news. Like they're not still alive. Anyways, the chart says that this thing came out, token generation event, October 1st, 2025. Do vaguely remember this thing. Market cap 22.8 million, all-time high 104 million. It's not a horrible contrast. You have to keep in mind where we've been since it came out, but I like when they don't fall obviously as far from their all-time high. That gives me a little bit more confidence that people wanted to hold the token, right? That's what you want. You want people to actually in the community want to hold the token and not dump it as soon as BTC is scary. Because sometimes BTC is scary. The world's first privacy reserve oracle layer powered by Truth. So it's like an AI oracle layer. That's a good to niche it down even more. It's AI agent, but it's really, before it's even AI agents, it's oracle. But they're making the oracle and data with the AI agents. Do you understand? So the world's first privacy preserving oracle layer powered by Truth. That must be the token. They have 278.9 thousand followers. It's funny, they're followed by live art. It's so funny, I did a video on live art, the niche, right, ArtFi, and over people's heads. It hasn't come around yet. It's in the category of RWAs, if you're wondering. It'll be relevant at some point, but it might be 6-7 years before then. We just revealed the Truth Diamond architecture. This is a pin post from January 1st. And it has 57,000 impressions. Not very good for the amount of followers, and it was a while ago. So there you go. Well, I guess it wasn't that long ago. Anyways, I digress. Hopefully they get a little bit more attention, but it's not the greatest attention. Let's go to the website, see if we learn anything new. I think we've really kind of broken down this coin quite a bit here as far as what they are. Verify anything, reveal nothing. Sounds like zero knowledge type stuff. The world's first privacy preserving oracle layer. Turn arbitrary data into verifiable on-chain logic in real time without exposing it. That's the key here, privacy. The future of Web3 markets is built on verifiable, arbitrary, and private data. So a lot of their claim here, I remember this website and this project a lot now, is a lot of private data is inaccessible because it's private data and people want to keep it private, but they have a way of being able to see the data without exposing any of the data. Sounds very technical. Hopefully they have it, really wrapped up. So private data is inaccessible. Human fact checkers don't scale, and oracles are single points of failure. The privacy preserving oracle layer turns arbitrary data into on-chain logic, privately and verifiable. Millions of distributed agents verify and process millions of events into instant data streams for Web3. Sensitive data stays private but can be verified safely thanks to zero knowledge, I was right there, proofs, and secure agent judges. So if I wanted to know if this, I just had this thought, if I wanted to know if this was the token that's going to take over this industry, right? I would have to go look at all the other tokens that are, I don't know, in the top 500 or 600. And I'd have to look and see how comparable they are and which one has the best tech, because everything we've talked about here today and recently in the last series and stuff is problems. Good companies solve real problems and have, revolutionary or cutting edge ways of doing it. Motivation Hero in the house says, hello, happy morning and happy motivation day with good vibes. Let Bitcoin rise to the universe. Well, yeah, that would be awesome. I want it to rise in price action and stuff like that in general. And we're getting a little bit of a bounce here off of 92,445. Okay. But anyways, my point here was, if you thought this was good, you should, in my opinion, what I would do, not financial advice, is I would go compare this to other coins in its niche, and I would see who has the most working product for one and cutting edge technology for two, and then I would make my bet from there. This is a newer token. A lot of times newer tokens get more hype than older tokens. That being said, let's move on to another token here. We went over this LA quite a bit the other day. We got Certificate, like certified, something of that nature. Looks like no token generation event, so it is new on our radar. You know, when they're new on our radar, we got to do our due diligence. And this part of the show is really keeping yourself up to date with the market, what's going on, what's trending, as things shift as far as categories and narratives, and also new coins coming out on the radar. Somebody told me the other day, who I didn't know them, but I met them through, you know, the Discord and stuff, and they were like, yo, so many coins that you were looking at had crazy pumps, you know? So I'm not making calls out here, but we find some gems, that's for sure. So Circuit is a block, or what is it? Certificate. Yeah, Certificate, I don't know what to call it. Is a blockchain security firm. There you go, blockchain security firm. What more do you really need to know about it? They're about security and blockchain. With firm that combines formal verification with AI technology to provide comprehensive, meaning understandable, audit services. This is about auditing. When it said like certic or like certification, to me that said audit. Like when you will see a new project come out and they will say, hey, trust us, we've been audited by X, Y, and Z, and they gave us these scores, right? There you go. So that's what they are. They're a type of auditing service. Definitely useful. Definitely, I would even say infrastructure, right? But you have to know how can they be bought and paid for? How much can you trust them? They got to have like some kind of reputation. They should have reputation scores, in my opinion, but then who would make those? And you see that in the system, everything can be gamed in some way if the players who are playing get a hold of the rules. Smart contract audits, KYC, on-chain monitoring, bugs, bounties, penetration testing, and more also follow. 544,000 followers. Surprised by that. I am very surprised by that. And how long have they been around? Let's go. There's no token generation event. This is very interesting, but they have 7,370 posts. So what this tells me is that they've been a company in crypto, right, for a while doing what they do, but they haven't necessarily had a coin to go along with their company, their project here. So project with Certic and YZI Labs have established a 1 million audit grant program for all participants in the Easy Residency Incubation Innovative. So I guess incubation is where projects are building. They usually get funding. The incubation money usually comes from whatever ecosystem they're a part of. So if it's BNB, it'd probably come from Binance or something like that, or it'd come from like Ethereum Foundation if you're over on ETH. The bigger the network, the harder it is to get into any of those things. They have to really like your project. So that's kind of good to know. And verification is very important. Audits and bugs and stuff like that are things you want to get worked out in testnet, not in your main net where it really damages the reputation of your project. Evening, everyone. Thank you. Good evening. Everybody saying hi. Well done. So where are we at? No, reject cookies. Largest blockchain security auditor. Market cap assessed 637 billion. That's a funny metric to take like credit for, because they're just saying like, you know, there's like adding up all the money of all the projects they've ever looked at. It's a weird metric. I don't know if that really helps us at all. This is a better metric. 5,067 clients served. That's a better metric to look at. 2 billion in valuation. Okay, so that maybe give you some idea of what it could be worth here. And 1.8 million monthly Skynet users. What's with Skynet? What are we in the Terminator? Solutions for all stages of growth. Adopt a unified approach to managing your Web3 security lifestyle. Do I talk too fast? Frozen. I'm frozen? No, I'm not frozen. Oh, frozen because she's cold. Duh. Yeah, there you go. I'm too into what I'm doing here. I'm not thinking. So Skynet is a Web3 rating and insight. Okay, that makes sense, like a monitoring kind of thing. In-depth attack simulator is the penetration testing to make sure that you can't get into their network. Sky Insight, compliance and AML. Sky Shield, decentralized community of white hats. It's funny they use white hats as a term. Powering blockchain integration. White hats are probably hackers, I would assume, who are, on the good side and trying to find bugs and stuff like that. Formal verification, math grade assurance for Web3 security. So they also provide security. I don't know. I could see this being very useful to the people in crypto who are building in crypto. If they have a good reputation and name, then people are going to trust them when they say this project is good. The code is good. It doesn't have a bunch of bugs. Guess we'll have to see how that pans out. So Tashi Network, another one that I don't see a token generated for, so it's on the radar now. Tashi Network is a decentralized coordination layer for intelligent systems. Let's see. I hate reading the same thing over, but I will do it. Tashi Network is a decentralized coordination layer for intelligent systems, a platform that enables machines, agents, and networks to synchronize in real time without centralized control. It's pretty cool because a lot of times you need a point of centralization to coordinate many things together. Tashi aims to build a world where machines operate in alignment with those they represent. All right, let's move on. Let's go to their Twitter. I don't want to lose anybody here. Motivation Hero says no, all cool. Cool. So coordination layer for intelligent systems. We read that. 29.2 thousand followers. Pretty small. 66,000 impressions is pretty good. Token generation update. So let's figure it out. What do we got going on? Let's show us a little more. I'll read this whole thing because it's relevant to the token generation event. That's what TGE stands for. There's a lot of, acronyms you're going to have to memorize in crypto. Having closely analyzed recent market conditions, we've made a decision that ultimately comes down to delivering maximal value to you, the network and community that continues to support our vision. We want to assure you we are continuing to build the SHIP product with unwavering focus while aiming to the best position the entire Tashi ecosystem for long-term growth. Really what they're saying here, in my opinion, is when we do the token generation event, it's going to be pivotal, pivotal. If they do it at a bad time when the market's way up and it starts dipping, even if it's up for a few months after they do it, it could really hurt all the people who hold it. So they probably want to launch it right before they think a lot of positive price action is coming their way. Then people will make a lot of money off of holding it, and they will have a very positive memory or feeling about the token, which then translates to a very positive feeling about the company. Not something I would necessarily buy, but when you break down a portfolio, you might think, hey, I don't have any exposure to auditing type companies and stuff. It's very niche and there's probably not as much competition. Could be good, but I don't know their white paper. I don't know their tokenomics necessarily. I don't know how much money they charge you to audit. What do they charge? $1,000, $800,000? Big difference. How much of that money that they charge goes to the market cap or a buyback or something like that? Those are all good questions. Just because they can make money doesn't mean that the coin is going to go up. You always got to keep that in mind. So Paxi Network, it's in the Cosmos ecosystem. It's a layer 1. So they have my attention here. Ooh, under $1 million market cap, but it's only been as high as 3.8. This ratio, the more I look at this ratio, means more to me constantly. And we are on the day chart, and I don't see too many days here, so it hasn't been around too long. 14th of November, 2025. Wasn't too terribly long ago, but crypto moves fast. I mean, that could almost be considered a long time ago in cryptocurrency. Does kind of depend on the project. Anyways, let's see what the trading volume is. Ooh, trading volume 2.9 thousand. That's not very good. But Oasis is a very niched ecosystem, right? Like, how many people do you know using something on Oasis? All right, that's not what I wanted. I apologize. Let's go to X. Back over 80, man. I love scalping. Well done. Are you scalping short or long? That's what I want to know. Oh, you're scalping short. I can see that. Just bouncing back over. I don't have it up for you guys, but I mean, that it would make sense for the shoulder, and then you have a head, and then the other shoulder to maybe get as deep as the first shoulder. Again, right now I don't want to lose, basically don't want to lose 92,200, but really more than that, I don't want to lose 92,080. Those are basically what I'm looking at right this second. A layer 1 general purpose blockchain, fast, secure, and decentralized, powering DeFi, DAO, cross-chain, and dApps with true validator freedom. 15.4 thousand impressions, not a lot of impressions. Pinned post, looks like a reel they posted has 20,000 impressions. Okay. I mean, they got more than they have followers. That's all right. Never know if they paid money to get out in front of people. I have a pinned post on my Twitter. It's got like 26,000 impressions. I paid money. I was testing out something because I had never paid for a post to be shared before, but I paid $20 to get those impressions. You know what I mean? So I never know. They should put like a tag if it's paid. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but that should definitely be a thing. All right, let's go to their website because I want to know a little bit more about this thing. Said, I love scalping short, but I'm learning. Hey, we're always learning. Learning never ends. Be a forever learner. Never consider yourself somebody who knows it all, because that is usually when you get the most messed up. Not life advice, right? Hilarious. Paxi is a layer 1 general purpose blockchain powering DeFi, DAO, cross-chain, and decentralized applications with true validator freedom. So their big kind of push here is about validator freedom. And that sounds like a pain point to me, right? What kind of, lack of freedom is there for validators? I mean, I could think of one. If you're validating on Ethereum, you're probably not using that equipment to validate multiple things. I don't know. How does that work? Node installation. So you could just start up a node, buy Paxi. Maybe you have to hold a certain amount. There's an app. This is very interesting. Like, are you able to then earn any of this? This is very small. When it comes to, like, you see a lot of people who are like, oh, I made millions mining, I don't know what, Crowcoin or something like that. A lot of the people who mine Dogecoin made a lot of money. Same with BTC, when you used to be able back in the day to mine it with just GPU power. So what I'm trying to say is, where you see a lot of people make a lot of money, and I'm just using this project as an example. I'm not saying this is the one, because I honestly don't think it is. It's my personal opinion. But if you were to download this and get a node installed, and maybe you have to buy a little bit of Paxi, maybe you don't, and you're earning now, right? Because you're a part of the system, so you're getting rewards. It's a gamble. It's like anything. It's like farming. It's like staking and things like that. You're always kind of taking on risk. But risk can have big rewards, just like buying a meme coin that comes out, right? It could have a huge upside potential. People have become millionaires off of, a couple $100, but they also were definitely risking losing those $100. And you might think, oh, I'd take the risk of a couple $100 to become a millionaire. Well, yeah, but there's 40,000 meme coins. You got $100 40,000 times. Remember, Shiba Inu was up over 1,000,000% at one point. You could have put $1 in Shiba Inu very close to when it came out and been a millionaire off of like $1. But who was buying Shiba Inu like the day it came out? That's the question. And back then, there was a lot less competition in meme coins. Now it's going to be a lot harder to do something like that. Anyways, they give you some specs about the actual blockchain. It is a layer 1, then they're going to tout some things like being fast and low cost. It's the same thing you hear everywhere. Built-in automated market maker swap. So these are cool things, but you'd have to go verify. When they say they're fast and low cost, fair by design. Well, fair by design is a vague thing to say. So I don't know what they consider to be fair. And then fast, okay, I'd have to compare that to some other things. And then low cost, right? Low entry to stake and validate. So this could be cool. I'd have to do my due diligence and research. Maybe somebody out there in the community wants to dive into this, because this could be a great way to use your computer to make some money. Just like Grass Token that I talk about, link in the description. Using your internet that you're not using to generate some what they give points. Usually those points wind up being airdrops later on. Anyways, let's move on from this. There's always tons of like teachable moments, right? And I get into some, heavier topics than a lot of your other crypto influencers will do. A lot of them stay very surface level. We have a little bit more in-depth community, or just people who are interested in becoming a little bit more in-depth community. I could dial it down, but I don't really want to because this is kind of my passion to raise people's cryptos IQs. We try to start as small as possible, but it would take you coming to the show often enough for it to compound. Compounding of anything is where the sauce is at, right? Doing something like a discipline day after day after day. So I keep, what is this? Waiting for a string of green candles. Okay, I keep waiting for a string of green candles to short on, but after like 2, it just dumps back right down right away. Well, 2 candles, that depends on what time frame you're on. If you're on the 1 minute, you'll get more than 2 green candles. If you're on the 15 minute, good luck to you right now. Just dumps back down right away, at least since the start of the show. Yep. Just true. Learning never ends. I love that. Absolutely. Cross to 21 in the 1 minute. Decent pump here. Gonna be a good short once this is done. Okay. Good vibes. You can learn a lot. Let's grow together, legends. Hey, I love that. That's a great vibe. Join the Discord if you haven't already. And there's some chat going on, but I don't want to get too lost in it. Then we have some Pundi X. I don't know what the heck this thing is. Kind of sounds like it's from India or something, just off of the spelling. But I don't know. It could be anything. The world is big. Let's go to the weekly. Seems like this thing's been around a while. My God. It was at one point like $10 or very close. $9.60. And the 26th of April, 2021. And this is a ratio I don't like to see here. 60 million market cap. Been as high as 1.7 billion, which makes sense for 2021. There weren't a lot of projects. Something people talk about, but maybe not enough for some of the newer people in crypto, is that used to not having as much competition. You didn't have as much money in the space either, so I guess there's some fairness and an argument there, but it was easy to get money to flow into a project because there wasn't 30 other projects competing in the same spot. The mission of Pundix is to enable digital currencies to be more accessible to people more across borders. It's an interesting thing, but pretty much think if you have a VPN and access to the internet, you could probably buy most things in most places. People in China still know how to buy it, for sure. I mean, they just basically claim to be, Taiwanese citizens, and China doesn't want to say that that's not China because that goes against what they're saying. So it's kind of like a loophole they've been using for a long time. At least that's how it was explained to me. I've never been to China or Taiwan, so what do I know? 23 cents for this coin. I don't really want to get into it because it's so old and it's done nothing for such a really long time, and it's still doing nothing. I don't know why it's trending, but I'm going to move on. Maybe I'll regret that, but sometimes you got to make an executive decision here. All these projects we pretty much know. If there's a project I skim over and you don't know, drop it in the chat. I will go over something in a project that you're looking at, even if you don't see it here. Drop that in the chat. I will definitely take a look at it for anybody who is coming to our stream. Zama. You see Zama, you think homomorphic encryption. What does that even mean? I guess you'd have to figure it out. Or FHE. So it's raised a ton of money. I'll touch on it for just a second. Zama is a cryptography company dedicated to developing open source homomorphic encryption tools for developers. So it's very developer heavy. It says 4.4 million raised, but if you come down here, it also says they raised 57 million. So that's a lot more than 4 million there. We have this Owl Finance. We've touched on that a little bit. I kind of like it. You got Fogo. I mean, I could just explain Fogo to you. It's basically a Solana virtual machine type product that is going to allow you to basically log in and not have to constantly pay, you could call them fees because you're paying fees, but you have to verify and sign for every little thing you do. Well, this thing allows you to be logged in for like a week at a time, and you can update it before it even logs you out to just keep you kind of logged into this system where you don't constantly have to click these verification messages on behalf of Solana virtual machine. Okay, so then you have Owl Finance or Alto. however you're supposed to say that. I'm terrible with names, and I'm probably not going to suddenly get a lot better at them. So if that's a problem, I don't know what to tell you. If you hate that I can't pronounce things perfectly every time, then smash the like button, because that's the only thing that makes any sense to do, and the subscribe button. Anyways, ticker is OWL. It's financial. When the name finance is in the project, you don't have to think too hard. What category is this? And real quick, I haven't said this in a while. Do your best to try to categorize a lot of these projects in your brain. It pays huge dividends later down the line. That's all I have to say. 0.09. So it's 9 cents. Market cap 30 million. Been as high as 40 million. That's not a bad ratio at all. It hasn't been out that long. The 15th of January 2026, yeah, a few days ago. I remember when this thing kind of launched. I'm pretty sure we looked at it a day or two before the token generation event. So you can kind of see on this channel how we kind of follow coins, because, you know, we'll look at them a day, a week before they ever launch a token. And then we'll be covering of the day that it launches a token, and we'll be covering it, you know, 4 or 5 days a week probably, as long as they stay trending. We'll be covering what they're doing, price action, stuff like that. So real quick, we got some charting to do here. This kind of sticks out to me. This looks good. I mean, we're gonna put a what do they call it? Price thing, what tells you how much percentage it's gonna raise. The right word not coming to my mind. That is what it is. Of course, in my actual trading view, I have all of these things like very easy to get to. And I don't exactly price range. I don't always know right where they are on the side tool here. All right, let's pull it down and get this to where we want it. So it looks like, and unfortunately it doesn't save this. When I come back, this is not going to be here. It looks like you're going to get a 93% pump out of this. With your stop loss, here you can pull it the other way. Bang, stop loss down under this wick here, that is 22%. So do with that as you will. Of course, the thing that makes the sense to do, that a lot of people for whatever reason don't want to trade by, me included, I mess this up because I get into a trade before I look at my win ratio. I heard somebody telling Camsta, I believe it was, to look into the win ratio. Oh, here you are. Get your long position for a long, short position for a short, and you bring it in and you put it to your take profit. Now, immediately tells you that this would be, and I'll put it right to the bottom here, this would be a 4-to-1 ratio, right? So you could drop this thing down even under this price action right here and still be at a 2.5. Let's see. Let me get that a little more dialed in. Yeah, 2.6. That's a little low, but a lot safer. Where you could just get down under here and get to, a 3.4 win ratio here. Now, one thing you kind of always want to keep in mind, when you're close to the bone like that, they love to just come wick you out and then rush off. And you're going to feel like every single time you get in, they dump it, get you out, and then it runs. Another strategy is if you feel like you always get stopped out before price action runs, instead of getting in the trade and actually putting your stop loss down here, just put your limit order here. So when it dumps on you, goes down here, instead of getting stopped out, now you're getting filled. Now you're getting your price filled at this point. Of course, what is the risk to that? The risk to that is it may never come down there and it might run, you might never get in. So then what do you do? Well, here's another strategy that I've only used a handful of times, but it makes a lot of sense. You take, a tiny bit of money. What is that? That's compared to how much money you would put in the trade. Say you were going to put $100 in a trade altogether. You could put a buy order down here, $80. You could buy immediately here, since it's nice and tight, for $20. And then if it moves without coming down here, you're going to make something, but not a lot of something. And if you're here and then it dips down, fills you, now you got your full $100 in. And now when it runs, you're really up. That's just a way, I guess, of offsetting some risk. Of course, if you're going to do that, then you probably don't want to put your stop loss there, because you don't want to get stopped out on $20, fill for $80, and then run. It'd still be good, but probably want to keep that $20 in if you have confidence. Now, mind you, I'm just using this as an example to explain something. I don't really know if this thing has got the juice like that. TM Hustling in the building. What's up, brother? Thank you for coming by. Always appreciate and love to see it when you hop in the chat. Whoa, there's a lot going on. Look at Melissa with the custom emojis here. Yes, we have a membership now. I just thought it was cool because all the channels have memberships, so we want to have all the bells and whistles and features. And in order to do that, I had to make custom emojis. So I hope you like them. Once I have, I think, 8 people in the membership, then I can make more emojis. I don't know why they capped me out on the emojis, but yeah, Melissa, throw some of those emojis around a little bit sometimes so that people can see them and know that they're worth $2.99 a month. Maybe. I think they are. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. That is up to you. Yeah, I like the second method better. There you go, Cam. So see, you can switch it up. You can kind of make it your own, and that is what really, I think, makes people come to the next level in trading, is because they start understanding the different aspects and they're able to build something that really makes sense to them. You have to watch, especially with the markets looking bad. I'm going to stalk it in the night like an owl. There you go. Invert the chart. Now you're on to something. Right? Oh, there's those custom emojis. The brain one got a little flattened. I don't know why it flattened it. I'll have to fix that. Yeah, there you go. Look at those custom emojis. Hey, I spent a lot of time building those custom emojis, and I did not know how to do it either. All right, enough of that. Not trying to sell you nothing. That's just what we got. You make your own decisions. So here we are. Let's go over to Twitter for this thing. 352,000 impressions is not shabby. Like that's pretty good. That's what I like to see. Something up over like 300,000 on a new project. What does that tell me? So we just did some TA. I almost kind of itching to get into this a little bit. We just did some TA, and it said it looked pretty good. Now, BTC would have to kind of keep up. If BTC decides to dump to 86,000, that's probably not going to play out. Remember, patterns are patterns, and they have a ratio to what they play out, but they're not 100%. I mean, I think the best ratio is 90% on like an Adam and Eve. And those ratios are coming from the lifer who I believe has sincerely back-tested it. Those are not my own, study. I take his word for it because he's got it going on. So January 13th, this weird video of some owl that landed in a duck's nest. I guess the ugly owlin. Ugly duckling, is that what they're going for here? 258,000 is in combination with Binance Wallet. That's going to help it get some attention for sure. You never know what's going on in the background. Did they pay to boost this? Did they pay what they call KOLs to, come in and spread it around and post about it? I don't know what they did. Some people are mad at companies for what they call inorganically driving hype. Oh, isn't that what marketing is? Isn't inorganically driving hype basically putting something in front of somebody? Isn't that what marketing is? So if you have a marketing budget, look, Bankroll follows it. If you have a marketing budget, sorry, I'm thinking too many thoughts at once. Then of course you're going to spend money to get things out in front of people like that. If you don't do that, then what are you doing with your marketing? So always multiple ways to look at it. We talked about yesterday. Everybody wants black and white. People don't want to think for themselves. Just like you'll notice when I start talking about crypto IQ and raising your crypto IQ, I lose people. People tune off. At least that's what it looks like over here on the viewership. Why is that? Why are people afraid of learning? Why are they clicking on crypto videos if they don't want to know anything about crypto? Why do they own crypto coins if they don't want to know anything about crypto? I don't know. People don't want to put the work in. They want black and white. Everything is mostly shades of gray. A lot of things determine if something is good or bad. I'll pin it there. So bridges, this is a financial thing. They have an airdrop going on. Deploys are what they call lines. So these are, I guess, lines connecting you to different networks. blockchains, ecosystems, whatever you want to call it. And they have lots of things. The thing that I thought that was really cool that made me slightly interested in this project is I see a lot of blockchains on here that I never heard of before. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Maybe nobody's heard of them. And if nobody's heard of them, maybe nobody wants to bridge. But there's always some niche people out there. So you have things like this Takeo or Inc. Zora you've heard of, but how many people are like hardcore using the Zora ecosystem? I don't know. I was even thinking about buying a few of my own posts on Zora to see if it would boost my overall interaction, because maybe it boosts me up because I have a little bit more money in my market cap. I don't know. But do I need to use a bridge or something like that to get on the Zora mainnet? Maybe this is where I could do that. You have Circuit, Morph, which I think is Morpheo, and Lisk. Those are just ones. This one's a test net. I wouldn't bother with even knowing that yet, but maybe that'll come up and I'll recognize it. Compounding effect of day after day looking at things in crypto, from staying trending to some TA to things that haven't even come out yet. All of that stuff, narratives, categories, all of those things compound day after day. I made this channel to keep myself accountable, to constantly coming here and making sure that I was doing my due diligence. If I want to, sounds crazy. I want to be as best as I can be, the best that I can be. That's a better way to put it. I'm not trying to be the most smart person in the room about crypto all the time, but I want to have enough information that I make good decisions. That's what it's about. And for anybody who's just coming in here, understand this is not about me looking smart and standing up here and telling you that you need to know more. It's about us growing together as a community, me holding myself accountable to continue to grow in this space that moves very, very, very fast. So if you're not doing it every day or coming to a show like this where we do it every day, or the Lifers show if you're into a lot of TA and stuff and he talks about everything else as well, if you're not doing that, you're not going to be as cutting edge as other people. That's just the truth. Genius is an interesting project. They've raised $6 million here. They are backed by YZI Labs. Who is YZI Lab? They're Binance. It says everywhere you go, it says previously Binance Labs. I don't think that Binance let go of them. I think they're still Binance Labs. So in my mind, they're still just Binance. Genius is a non-custodial trading platform launched by Shutter Labs. Now, you got to separate the two, right? We talk about categories and stuff. You got to separate it. I'm very bullish on the idea. Does that make me somewhat bullish on this project? Well, sure. If it can execute, I got to see the execution. I got to see the plugin. So we're going to talk about what it's all about. So the final on-chain terminal. So everybody knows FTX. Everybody, probably lost some money in an exchange if you've been around for a little while that went down and you realize not your keys, not your crypto. You don't own any of that stuff. They owned it and you just kind of gave them your money and trusted and hoped. A lot of us have money on Coinbase and stuff. I'm not saying anything about Coinbase, but I don't think a lot of people were saying anything about FTX. Only a handful of people called FTX a problem at that point. All right, what do we got going on? What is going on with Camsta? Says invert the chart. Okay, BTC on weak legs right now. Yep, that's it. The Illuminati bird is on Mexi too. That's hilarious. It's one way to say it. I have a shortification. That's hilarious. My wife got mad at me tonight because I was watching the show and she said, as I was watching the show, and she said, not important, dream killer. That's hilarious. It's just for the gains. She wanted me to put my son to bed, to be fair, but she thinks I'm here every night wasting my time. Not cool. Man, I know how that goes, man. I know sometimes how it is when people don't support you. And now things have changed quite a bit because of this stuff, and they come around. They do come around, but it takes a while, right? So yeah, bro, Camsta, that hurt. Exactly. Very sad. Made me angry. I could be playing video games, but I'm trying to better myself, right? And that sometimes becomes lost on people. It's only when you grind it out and you make it happen, then all of a sudden they come back to the table, right? Mad respect, Camsta, for being strong and hanging in there. Exactly. Don't leave us, Camsta. Hilarious. I appreciate you being here. Hopefully that all works out over time. We're incredibly excited to work with Binance and Binance. Some more Binance, right? YZI Labs. But they even use the Binance colors, right? They don't even really they want to be Binance. They don't want to not be Binance, right? So 465,000 impressions here with 45.5 thousand followers sounds strong. Now, if I haven't already said it, let's go to their website. What this project is all about is having a custodial type wallet that you have ownership with, that you use in these centralized exchanges, but if they crash, you still have your crypto. That's what it's all about. Basically, self-custody. And so, one thing that confused me is then I come to their website and they have just like a launch pad going, like their pump.fun. And I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I don't know how that lines up with what they say they're trying to do. So right there, I strike a couple points off. I'm going to be honest, because now I'm disconnected from what the use case was. I read your thing on Crypto Rank. I went to your Twitter. You had me locked in there. I thought I knew what you were. And then I come here and you're a launch pad. Is that a bad thing? Nah, I wouldn't say so. But it definitely seems like a disconnect when projects try to go in too many directions at one time. Sometimes that really hurts the overall product. I could just be missing the link between custodial wallets on centralized exchanges and launch pads. Maybe I'm missing where those two connect and make sense together, but I doubt it. But I don't think so. Let me put it that way. All I know is the fact of my own ignorance. See, sometimes you got to catch yourself and correct yourself, right? And they got perps too, which is cool. It looks like they just ported over perps from Hyperliquid and Aster, but they're putting it all in one place. They said a one-stop terminal, and maybe that's where the launch pads come in, because they're trying to put everything together. So this is interesting, but one thing I don't really love is that when I get over here to their website, I don't really see a whole lot about, and you know what? This is probably a separate website. Let's go to the website they gave us for CoinGecko. Maybe that's a different website. Is it? TradingGenius.com. It was a different link. Oh, they're going to apply crypto. See, Crypto Rank's smart. They're applying their referral code to anything that I sign up and do. Hey, they drove the traffic. I guess they deserve the reward. Yeah, but anyways, I wanted to come over here and I wanted like an about me, and I wanted it to talk about how they're going to implement this technology of custodial wallets. Like, that's what I wanted as somebody who wanted to speculate on this. If you're a degen, maybe you just want to go launch a coin. You want to launch a coin everywhere that you possibly can. Blues guy, he's finally made it here. The rush, yeah, exactly. Flying with high volumes. Yeah, video games are actually getting boring for me now when I could be trading. Yeah, I know that feeling. I've been there. When Cam pulls the hammer, that will change. That pulls the Hummer, not the hammer, the Hummer. All right, Blues guy, what's up? Welcome in. We missed you. They're trying to be like the crypto hub Atlantis. Okay, Dr. Blues in the house. Well said, Melissa. Then we have this noise. Now, notice that it's taken us a while to get through what is trending. I mean, we've now been live for, what, an hour and a half? And we're still in what's trending. Very interesting. Noise. Total raise, $7.1 million for Noise. Noise offers a complement and alternative. It's a weird way to say it. To poly predictions. And I remember going over this. I don't see how it's a complement to poly predictions or prediction markets. Because it's just another prediction market, right? Just another prediction market. Noise is offering an alternative to prediction markets by allowing traders to place bets on what topics will retain relevance online over time. These so-called attention markets combine elements of Google Trend and existing prediction markets gauge. So you're just betting on what's going to continue to be popular. That sounds like a prediction market. That's not in contrary to or an alternative to. It's just another prediction market about something different. They're getting the gamblers out here. They're making everybody into gamblers. Let's go look at their X and see how much attention they have. Cam, the Viper. Oh, it's Widowmaker. You're hilarious. 27.9 thousand followers. TM Hustling better stop it. I'm going to read something on screen and he's going to get banned from the stream. Are you trying to get Camps to ban? I see what he's trying to do here. Noise.xyz, stay relevant. I thought this was so ironic that they're talking about staying relevant and I think them themselves are not relevant. And by the design of what they're doing, I almost wonder how relevant they're going to be. Because, yeah, they have 905,000 impressions on this pinned post, but it's from, January 14th. I guess that's really not that long ago. But anyways, it's all about them raising 7.1 in a seed round from Paradigm. That's cool. I just don't see this thing having the juice. I just don't. But poly markets are big, so maybe. Sometimes you can't see it when there's something that you would never use. Like, I don't use poly markets. I don't like to go bet on, like, every little tiny thing. You know what I mean? Like, is Trump gonna touch his forehead while he's giving a speech? Like, just tiny things today before noon, while it's raining. Like, it gets ridiculous. It's almost like football stats sometimes, or sports stats in general. They're just like, this is the 5th time that somebody fell down 3 times in a game on a Tuesday before 4 o'clock. It's just like, what are we talking about? Like, I'm not betting on that crap. Sounds like a good way to make your money. Here's what I think about a lot of sports betting with the high returns, where you bet like $1 and you can make 500. Somebody goes in and somebody who knows sports well, that is, and they just make something up. Like, will 4 players fall down on the Heat, on this basketball team? Will 4 of them fall down and hurt themselves in the first quarter? It's just like, oh, okay. I mean, that one's actually a little bit better than a lot of them that I see. A lot of them are crazy. Anyways, I like that. Just a trophy car. There you go. What is TM Hustling got? A Viper? I only played the prediction markets for $5 voucher. Boy, that was not worth it. Hey, and Bankroll did really good. And there's some good things with the price prediction. Don't get me wrong. If you're just betting on BTC being above or under a certain number by this time that day, you could use your TA skill to determine that. That's pretty cool. I don't hate that at all. It's just when it gets ridiculous, when I feel like they're just coming in and making up this very, very intricate, rare, most likely never going to happen scenario. And you're like, oh, I'll only bet $5 on it, right? If it hits, I'll make $500 or $5,000. But they know it's in all likelihood not going to hit. And they're taking all that money in. So you $5, 100,000 people $5, and holy crap, they made a ton of money off of something that never had any probability of ever happening. That's how you steal money from people without them even being mad. They call it robbery without a gun. Okay, total raise, 10 million. I don't know why I love to get off on the weeds with stuff, but I do. I do love to do that. Vera, you got to fill the show with stuff, right? You got to kill some time. Total raise, 10 million. Vera is an on-chain neobank for earning spending with crypto cards. Man, we've heard a lot about these crypto cards, which is just a Visa card most of the time. Investing in tokenized assets, on-chain borrowing via financial identity score. Wow, I want to be limited to how much money I can borrow based off of my identity score. Sure hope that I agree with everything that everybody else agrees with. Stupid. All right, immediately not interested, but I will do my due diligence and go see what kind of attention. The last video on Flare I made is about a new addition to Flare called Ignite. Hey, that makes sense. Prediction market, really cool because it's on Flare Network, new in beta right now, bullish on Flare. Hey, thanks for saying that. That's really cool. And yeah, I'm gonna get one of those. I'm gonna get another video ready. I wanted to put them out every other day, but I realized it's almost too close together. So I'm gonna add one more day, right? Because our video that we did on staking XRP with Firelight is doing really well. It's one of the top videos that I have. It gives a weird metric. It's like in the last 10 videos or whatever, but it's doing really well. And so I don't want to put something out and kill the momentum. I want to give it another day. So I will put another video out though tomorrow. And maybe if that video doesn't hit as hard, then I'll put another one out a little sooner. But when they're running, you don't want to kill them by putting other stuff out and confusing people. You want them to go watch that other video. Your global neobank, at least that's what I believe, built on chain, earn, invest, borrow, and spend across assets. So 121.4 thousand followers for this Vera global neobank. So they're a bank. They have a Visa card, but they don't own Visa. They're not Visa. So, you know, it's like they didn't build this big financial thing that is Visa. They're just porting into it, and then I don't know, they got a bank approval to be a bank. That's my guess. But they have 17.4 thousand members here in their community. Pin post from January 13 has 402,000 impressions. They say they have 2 million users. That's pretty crazy. They must be around for a while. They have over 7,600 posts. So whether I think that this is the most amazing thing in the world or not, or if I think it's just another Visa card, they have been posting a lot. They seem like they've been around for a while. For 7,600 posts, I would think they would have more than 121.5 thousand followers, but it is what it is. Everybody, excuse me 1 second. I'm going to take a sip of some water, because I realized that I haven't done that in a while. All right. So from there, where do we go? We go back to their website. I don't even want to look at their website, honestly. Can I be honest? Just because I know I'm never signing up for this. The global neobank built on chain. Own your wealth. No intermediaries necessary, because when you hold the key, you stay in control. Of course. Earn up to 10% APY across hundreds of protocols. Okay. And it's up to 10%, which means like there's going to be one, if maybe 2 or 3 that you can earn 10% on, and all the rest of them will probably be under 10%. So there you go. And you can download the app here. The website's really basic. It really doesn't have a lot on it, and I'm happy about that. All right, let's move on. Underground, you're killing me. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. But, you know, you make the videos, Blues Guy, and you want them to do all that they can do. You could just fire them all out. Heck, I could put all the videos you've made out tomorrow if you want. But a lot of them, you're going to have 1 or 2 of them do well, and like a lot of them are just going to get like, I don't know, less than 100 views. The YouTube game is a lot more than just making a video and throwing it out there, right? You have to kind of prime the system. You got to look at your videos, how they're performing. You got to, if one's doing really well, you want to hold out on putting another similar topic. If I was going to put another video out totally unrelated to XRP, Flare Network, any of that kind of stuff, I could do that because it's not really going to compete with that video. But right now, if you type in XRP in YouTube, it is filtering things for XRP. If you type in Flare, it's filtering things for Flare. And if you make more videos and it replaces your other video with the new video, you are killing the momentum of that video. Now, of course, in that same breath, you can't like never post another video just because one of them's doing really well. And this is just how I understand it. Maybe I am a little bit off there. All right. So let's go back and look at BTC for a minute, and then we will look at a couple of different things on the, I guess, TA side of the coin. And let's go to TradingView. Let's pull that up. Well, I had 2 measured moves here for BTC. Hey, Melissa coming in with those. Oh yeah, Blues Guy's here. What's up, gang? What's up, Green Fingers? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of the community. You're killing me because we are drinking in plastic bottles again. That's why. Yeah. I hear you, man. I've been meaning to get on top of it, but I have a bajillion things to do every day, all the time. I'm going to get there. So that was the announcement thing that I don't think I told you, Blues Guy. We have memberships now to the channel. And with those memberships, you get 2 main things. One of them, custom emojis made by yours truly. I spent quite a bit of time making them. I hope they don't suck. What can I say? Now, they only allowed me to make 4. I can change them out. I can manipulate them. The one brain one is cool, but like they kind of smashed it a little bit, and I don't really love that. It's supposed to be a brain with a BTC logo. It looked really cool before they flattened it. So I'm going to have to fix that. But anyways, you get 2 things. One, you get your name highlighted, and it changes color depending on how long you've been a part of the community. So it's like a seniority thing that you can only earn by being here, which is a great idea. And then also for them, marketing and stuff for channels. And then the other thing is the emojis, custom emojis. You're not going to have them anywhere else. They'll maybe make sense. So Melissa went ahead and posted them. One is the underground logo. The other one is the face palming, like you're trying to explain something to somebody and they like just don't get it. Face palming, there you go. The other one, I don't know if it's a little hard to see. It's like, you know, he's kind of bowing down. It's like a respect emoji. And then the other one is our crypto IQ emoji, which is a brain with some BTC in it. There you go. Keep spamming those emojis. Great marketing. I appreciate you. The video is fine. 3 days, 10 days in between. I don't care, brother. Okay. Wait, what? Since when? Yeah, just since right now. Can I have my own emojis? I mean, I could make emojis and put them in, but everybody else would have access to them too. The only way you can have your own emojis would be, I guess, if you made emojis and put them on your YouTube channel. But I could make it a blues guy emoji. That would be pretty awesome. But here's the thing. For whatever reason, and you know YouTube did this on purpose, but I can only make 4 emojis until I have 8 people signed up to the membership, and then it will unlock the ability to make more emojis. Okay, I would like to have a lot more emojis. Lifer has a bunch of emojis that are all very relevant, putting the limit into the water, like all that kind of cool stuff. Well, we'll get there. We will get there over time. Once I start making a bunch of money, maybe I'll hire somebody to make some really cool ones. That would be dope. But as of right now, I will be the guy making them. So we had a measured move for an inverted head and shoulder. It looks like we didn't get it, which is kind of what I thought. You had this inverted head and shoulder. It was a little weird with this in the middle of it. That was kind of strange. Now what do you see? You see a head and shoulder with another head. There you go. Also, you had this ascending triangle wedge thing with a measured move to the bottom down to 91,500. I hope that we're able to hold it up. For anybody who didn't see the beginning of the show, I was talking about, let's go to the 7 minute. Let's go to the 15. That'll make more sense on the 15. I would delete all of my lines, but I'd delete everything actually, but I have alerts set on them. So maybe there's an alert on that one. I don't want to get rid of any of the ones that have alerts on them, right? And we can get rid of anything going on up here. That measured move, I would say that's pretty much canceled. Let's get rid of that. Anyways, what I wanted to pull was the Fibonacci. We'll even get rid of this head and shoulder. I wanted to clean it up a little bit, right? Because I don't want it to be all messy. So we're pulling the Fibonacci on the range here. Of course, I have a shortcuts to it, and I don't use them. Anyways, what you can see here is you had a pretty much perfect textbook bounce off of the 786. A lot of people talk about your golden pocket, and you would have got a lot of touches in the golden pocket for sure. Still be above the golden pocket, but if you would have set a buy in the 786, probably would have got filled on that wick, and you would be up like immediately. Now what you're looking for is for this thing. So money printer model. Let's talk about the money printer model for a minute. So that's Fibonacci. You're down at the 786. The big takeaway here is where you pulled your range from, this bottom wick here. Where you pulled that from, if you break this line with any price action, even if it's a wick, if it wicks and comes back up, that's one thing. But if it closes a candle on like the 15-minute under this, you're cooked. Like basically that's when I would negate the whole Fibonacci retracement thing. That thing is out the window, and at that point you're probably just dumping. You break this wick over here, you're probably going much lower. So keep that in mind. And I will be in the Discord. I will certainly be taking any and put it in the, if you want to, well, I guess I'll have to add people to it. We have an exclusive hangout that's really built for when the channel gets bigger. If you want to be added to that, please just message me and I'll add you to it. But if you have any recommendations for emojis that you think would be awesome to have on the channel, put them in the exclusive hangout. Most of my day ones, they have that. So anyways, it says Blues Guy says, where do I sign up? So let's see, under the YouTube video that you are watching, there should be a thing that says memberships. Yeah, so in the left hand bottom corner under the video, right where it says who actually controls blockchains, which by the way is the crypto IQ raising topic of the night in our new series that we're just starting, you will see next to Underground Crypto 1.3 subscribers, it says join. You'll click the join button and it'll come up and ask you, it'll tell you the price. It'll tell you what it comes with. There's a members only live chat as well. I'm still new to this, guys. I don't know how to toggle all this stuff and find it. So there's that. Let's see. Oh, there is. Okay, fans. Oh, now I finally have fan funding. Now, this is crazy. I've been trying to find the place where I can see all the super chats, and now I can finally do it. That is pretty awesome. Okay, cool. And the fan funding is great tonight. We have one more to hit our goal. We have Frank. Now I'm just psyching myself out. All right, scrap that. Frank Glacier, who I don't remember ever seeing in here before, and that's really cool. And it even notifies me that Melissa had joined. So that's really cool. But yeah, I hope that told you where you needed to go, not to get too far off on the weeds here. All right, so this is BTC. We talked about the whole Fibonacci retracement. There was something else I was going to touch on. What was it? Really, I would say this thing already pretty much broke out here to the downside if that's what we're doing. We pointed out the head and shoulder. We talked about the Fibonacci retracement. Oh, money maker model. So let me get rid of this stuff because I hate clutter when other people are explaining stuff. So what a lot of times you like to see is these tops up here get broken when the price action bounced. So you came down, you bounced up, and what did you break? You just need to barely break it. You need to break this. This is very good indicator in a money printer model a lot of times. Now, really what you wanted to see was it here, and it did break these level here. I'll put it a little bit more because I'm pretty zoomed in here, right? So when we broke these, this is like my understanding of master friend stuff, right? So when you break this height here, right, you said, all right, we bounced. This is a real bounce. And then what a lot of times you're supposed to do, pull your Fibonacci in this range, right? And then he would say, you place your orders. You can place one big order down here in the 786. You could layer your orders starting a little bit higher. And then what happened? This is money printer model stuff. This is making me feel a little bit better about us getting a big pump out of here. But again, you break that zero line, the bottom of this wick, you break the zero line, then all this stuff is mute. Okay, so now you pulled your smaller range from the bounce, right? Because you broke a critical, spot up here. Then you put your orders down here at the 786. You would have got filled. Now you're basically just waiting for it to run. You're very close to the bottom, and I'm pretty sure money printer model stop loss goes under this wick. And so those are many different scenarios. You see how there's a lot of different ways to do this. That's why you kind of have to figure out what you like. Let's go to the 1 minute. Yeah, the 1 minute's still under the 200. I want to see the 1 minute regain the 200. So for me right now, that's all I really want to watch and care about is the 1 minute time frame getting back above the 200. Now, why did I come over here? I didn't just want to talk about BTC. Let's look at some different things here. So Tau, this didn't play out at all. Not even a little bit. We dumped hard and so did Tau. Now let's go look at something else. Let's go look at Owl. Because that thing looked like a pretty good trade. And I wanted to do some due diligence instead of just with, say that TradingView plugin that they have. All right. Oh, is it bottom right? Sorry. It's bottom left for me. So we would be grateful if all enthusiasts would hit the like button. Yeah, we definitely would. I did the dollar symbol, I believe. Oh, the dollar symbol. Yeah, that would be cool. Definitely could do a dollar symbol. Try to make it original, right? You don't just want a emoji that you could use anywhere else. Yep, bottom right. Hopefully he found it. If he signs up, we'll see it and we'll know that he got it. If not, no big deal. All right. If not, we'll help him some more. So on the 4 hour, actually really would rather put this in like the 1 hour. Actually, the 4 hour is pretty good. Let's go back to the 4 hour. It's less chaos on the 4 hour. And this thing's super new. So this really requires BTC to play ball. If BTC dumps to like 68,000, this thing is probably no way going to do what we want it to do here. And so that's what that's a bull flag, right? And we have our price here. It says you could go up like 84%. I believe it was a little higher the first time. Let me make sure I got like the full thing going on here. No, I don't. I sold myself short a little bit. And with it being so new, if it pumped like this, it would go into price discovery. This is one thing you have to keep in mind too that makes a trade a little juicier in my opinion, is that technically if this thing breaks this high and closes a candle up there, especially on something like the 4 hour, I'd be looking for it to close a candle up there on like the 5 minute or the 15. But now you're in price discovery and this thing could go. This thing could blow. That would be a 95% on spot. So you could almost double your bag here if you get all the way to the top of that measured move just off a spot. So if I had some capital, if it wasn't all in margin right now to try to protect my BTC position, I would be most likely jumping into this because it looks pretty good. It's a new coin. It had a lot of attention on Twitter. See how when we ran through our due diligence of the things that we look at, we began to build a case for this thing. And of course, you also could grab your long position as well. And then you can see if you just put yourself below this wick here, you have a 3.6 or a 3.6 to 1 ratio. If you want more of a 4 to 1, you'd have to go a little higher. See how it changes? But not much. You could get right under that wick and have like a 4 to 1 ratio. I like my stop loss a little deeper a lot of times just because I don't want to get slapped out. I mean, even if you put yourself under the where you came out, you'd still have almost a 2 to 1 ratio. Not that I really like 2 to 1 ratios. Anyways, I digress. Anybody have any other coins they want me to do TA on? I did the dollar symbol, I believe, bottom right. Okay, cool. We got that all hashed away. So let's see. I'm going to pop back over in the background. Let's look at rows. Just pull up some things I think might be relevant. I have multiple rows. I don't want all of those. Oh, this is rows market cap. No, I don't want that. I did this last time. That's not what I want. Rows. Let's look for it on, say, Coinbase. Why not? All right, let's go to the 1 hour. Let's see, what do we see here? 4 hour is so far away from the 21. I wouldn't say that there's a trade there. Let's look at the 15. Not really flagging out. Very shoulder, head, shoulder, more shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. All kinds of heads and shoulders, right? At that point, a lot of times what I like is a nice trend line here, where it makes sense. So you haven't lost a trend line. You lose that trend line and you're probably thinking this is now collapsing on itself. Let's go to like the 5 minute. Yeah, so I would really bounce to a higher time frame and see that you're a little bit far away. So what you want to do is you're gonna want to flag out and have that 21 come up there and interact with price action. You're gonna want to fill out this flag, and that's kind of what you'd want to wait for. So then I would grab my vertical line here, and I'd put it somewhere like over here. Now, of course, if BTC explodes tomorrow in price action, this thing could just rip, right? Oh, that's actually not my measured move. That is my trend line. And this thing has a really big measured move up to 2.5 cents. Let's put the little ray there. Bang. Oh, and of course, when you draw your vertical line, you got to remember to put your alert on it. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless. And I can move that thing. I think that looks good here. And then we could pull our price. See what kind of move you get out of this thing. 37. You add some leverage into that, and you could be cooking there. Of course, I wouldn't touch this thing until it filled out the flag and the 21 came up to meet it. Now, what else do I want? I want the long position. All right, and then you want to get it to like a 3-to-1. You'd have to like, I'd want to be under that wick there, which kind of ruins your 3-to-1. So you'd have to be, draw your line here. Bang. That's where you'd need to be, which is like 0.01669. Call it, 0.0192. Right in that region. If you were going to play something like this. Place in the community charts. Okay. That is a really good point. Shout out to the mods for making a lot of sense here. We will go grab the owl one as well. We had this thing on like the 4-hour here. And yeah, the owl, such a new coin. All right. I'm going to go post those real quick. Give me a half a second. Community charts. If you want to see stuff like that and you're not a member of the Discord, it's free. I don't know what you're waiting for. Link in the chat is the one that you want to use, really. And go ahead and hop on in there. Should have posted them separately. Anyways, we can always do some more if anybody has anything they want to go over. But for right now, we're going to port ourselves back over and we're going to talk about the topic of the day as we roll into 2 hours streaming and we just get into the real meat and potatoes. We put in our due diligence around here. Bang. And what are we talking about tonight? We are talking about who is actually in control of the blockchain. Who is it? It's not loading. That's cool. Please load. It should pop up in a minute. We'll bounce over to this. My chat is so big in this ChatGPT chat that it takes a minute to load. It's that big. We are down a hefty amount. It kind of sucks. We talked about a lot of things here being relatively bullish. I'm thinking we're getting the move, but that doesn't mean that we don't dip down to grab some liquidity. Oh, I have Bookmap as well. Let's port back over to Bookmap for a minute. Le Bookmap. All right, let's take a look at Bookmap. And I did get it downloaded on the computer. So obviously, it's no secret, 86,000 has 564 BTC, and directly under that at 86, 85,000 is like 300, right? Yeah. But if we get a little more dialed in here, oh man, and I see them do this quite a bit, right? Where they just get real dicey with it. See how there's like liquidity high, liquidity low, or high, low, high again. Now it stayed high. I don't know if that's somebody just indecisive about their liquidity, because if it's moving all at once, that's like a lot of money moving at one time. And so now we're getting some price back to the upside here at 92,700. There is, almost need to move that. Can I move that? Is that 22 BTC or 200 and something BTC? I almost can't read it. It's all jumbled up. Very weird. Maybe if okay, there we go. Is that 2,286 BTC? That's a lot of BTC. So here's what I think. I think a lot of people are shorting. Oh, it went away. I think a lot of people are looking for this short to fall, and their stop loss is up here. They're very close to the wire, though. Melissa says, please explain how to read this thing. Okay. So I just re-downloaded it on my computer. So my, what do you want to call them? My settings are not as exactly what I'm used to, but it still works the same. So it's a heat map, right? Think of like heat vision. You have really high, it goes from red to yellow, goes from hot to cold. And so you can see where it's bright red, those are the higher liquidity spots. Where it's more like orangish yellow, that's higher liquidity than, say, white or blue. You can see the scale up here. It starts at like black. And I can turn the sensitivity down. Like, I can make it more sensitive, I can make it less sensitive. So I like it more sensitive than anything like this, so you can really see the liquidity without all the noise and stuff, right? And you can see there's people popping in here. There's large amounts of BTC being thrown around. This liquidity keeps moving places. So this is like somebody's trade, somebody's stop loss. I don't know if they're taking profit and hopping back in. Could be a bot or a swarm of bots. I don't know who it is. But this is just my understanding here, because that high amount of, and it's like almost the same, 2,338 BTC now at 91,800. But will it stay there? Because if you zoom out, you'll see they keep moving it all over the place. Are they trying to figure out their position? Are they just trying to screw with the market and get it to start moving in a direction? I don't know. But anyways, the numbers here, here's the number of Bitcoin price, and then you have the number of BTC that's at each spot. So I can zoom out, and that's where you'll see, like the 86,000 will load here in just a second. And you'll see there's 564 BTC down there. Or you can zoom way in, and you can see where the closest liquidity is. It's like 92,300. Like, that's super close. And it usually does move to where the closest liquidity is. So it's concerning that they keep putting it lower than us. We want them to put this liquidity higher than us so that price action moves. See, look at that. Now it's like dipping to go get this liquidity at 91,800. Now, where was our line that we did not want to break? The line we did not want to break is 92,100. There you go. And so that kind of sucks. Hopefully they don't get this is how they move market, right? It's how they move market around. And then that liquidity's gone. So what I've noticed is it just got it to move and dip a little bit towards that liquidity, and now that liquidity's gone. So whoever it is, they're playing probably high value games here. I mean, you're talking about like 2,000 something BTC being bounced around between the top and the bottom. Since they cut it and it's no longer on the bottom, are they going to put it on top next? I don't know. But see, it almost is like they put it down here to start trying to get price action to move, and then they cut it when they feel like BTC first starts to move. It's very interesting. It's the first time I'm really observing the move in real time here. And we're getting the draw down to 92,260. Anyways, let me get these talking points up again. Maybe I'm going to have to refresh this. I hope that did some justice for explaining Bookmaps. Bookmaps is a little bit confusing. I wouldn't pretend like it wasn't. But it's confusing if you try to like understand all the bells and whistles. I can't say that I do. I just use it as a basic heat map for price action, and it's I think pretty accurate. I do pay like $20 a month for it. All right, let me port you over so you can see what I see. Oh, they put it again, but then they moved it to 91,900. Very annoying. In my opinion, it's very annoying. Because they're pulling us down here. Like, they're most likely going to pull us down here. And it's stuff like that probably starts these dumps. Very interesting, though, right? All right, let's go to our IQ raising event of the night. You're welcome. Is everybody ready? And I know Camsta said he was using a different version of the heat map. That's not the only heat map out there. Apparently, there are some free heat maps out there. So everybody take a deep breath, put your thinking caps on, and let's lock in a little bit here. So in opening, crypto was built on a promise. No banks, no governments, no gatekeepers. Now remember, we've changed things up a little bit. We're trying to write this in more of a story format so that you can really wrap your head around it a little bit better. So in the beginning, crypto was built on a promise. Decentralization was the, coin term of that promise. No banks, no governments, no gatekeepers, just code, just math, and open networks. Decentralization became the rallying cry. But here's the uncomfortable question. Who actually runs this stuff? Because power never disappears. It only changes form. Okay? The illusion of no leaders. People imagine blockchain like a leaderless swarm, perfect democracy, pure chaos, but that's not reality. Every network has validators, miners, dev teams, foundation, and large stakeholders. This is the sauce right here. So those are your people who are influencing what is going on. Those groups shape the outcome. Validators equal political actors. Validators don't just process transactions, as the name implies. They vote on upgrades, they choose software clients, and they enforce rules. Their incentive matters. If rewards change, penalties increase. Behavior changes at that point. Staking pools and centralization. Most users don't run validators. They delegate to big pools, exchanges, and professional operators. Results: power concentration, voting block form, and cartel behaviors appear. That's just people grouping together to control something, right? If you have the top 5 validators on a network all running in the same vein, well, they're probably going to control some outcomes. So decentralization becomes optical, meaning it becomes just a big illusion. Upgraded politics, right? When a chain upgrades, devs propose, validators vote, and users flow in, right? But not everyone has an equal voice here. Whales influence outcomes. Social pressure matters a lot. It's politics. It's just on chain. Just politics on chain. That's all you've really moved over to. Censorship reality. Validators can skip transactions, blacklist addresses, and comply with regulators. Code is law until the law actually shows up. This is very interesting. So, are they censorship resistant? It depends on the blockchain. It depends on the model. Again, in defense of blockchain, we can evolve and we can put things in place where we can not allow validators to do this, because in a way, a lot of this has to do with the blockchain itself, the rules that govern it, the code, and what they allow validators to do. Validators have the key. They are the game masters. And they can skip a transaction. They can blacklist your address. You can't even operate on that network anymore, and your funds are probably locked up because you can't move the money out because you're blacklisted. And they can comply with regulators to show information that could be not in your favor. Client diversity risk. If everyone runs the same software and a bug appears, the entire chain can halt, fork, or even break. Power concentrates in dev teams and client managers. So dev teams, a lot of the shenanigans in and that's saying it nicely, in crypto blockchain technology comes from the devs and the validators. Foundations and treasuries. Many chains have foundations, massive treasuries, and paid teams. They fund grants, shape roadmaps, and steer narratives. Soft power. Social consensus. Crypto doesn't run on code alone. It runs on Twitter, Discord, governance forums, influencer opinions, social consensus, and drives technical consensus. So they're saying there's pressure that comes from outside of the network, outside of the code. So who really wins here? Well, power belongs to big validators, infrastructure providers, whales, exchanges, and dev teams, not the average user. We have to accept that, in my opinion. That is truth. That is uncomfortable. The real trade-off, total decentralization, is slow, chaotic, and inefficient. If we really had the real decentralization that we've been talking about. Some centralization, speed, coordination, usability. Every chain chooses where they sit in this spectrum. So this is not to say that every chain is in the same place here. We need to integrate, evolve blockchain technology, come up with brand new cutting edge ideas like zero knowledge. And then you understand why ZK proofs are so dang important, or just zero knowledge in general, because they can be in other things like rollups. But every chain is a little bit different, and they decide where they sit in this spectrum, but in this power vacuum. Core insight: crypto didn't remove power, it just rearranged it, right, from institutions to networks, but the power still exists. So in closing, the question isn't, is crypto decentralized? It's decentralized compared to what? Understanding who holds the power lets you evaluate networks, judge governance, and avoid narratives. Thought this was a good one for tonight, for a Monday. Short and sweet, straight to the point, in a story format, so maybe you understood it a little bit better. I certainly hope so. And that was the Crypto IQ raising event of the night. Let's go take a look at Top gainers, top losers, please throw a 111 in the chat if you understood what I just told you. And 333 in the chat if you didn't get it. And 555 if you completely zone out when I start talking about this stuff and you're just here for everything else in the stream. I like to know that too. I like the feedback. So now we're in the top gainers, top losers. Rose up 34.9%. You know it is not a overly bullish day when your top gainer of the day is only up 34.9%. Melissa, she's voicing her opinion there. I love that. It says 111. River, talked about River a lot, 22%. Resolve, Mind Network, the fully FHE, or, fully homomorphic encryption. AI rig complex, talking about new cutting, edge ideas in blockchain. Fully homomorphic encryption is one of those things. We'll get into that another day, probably over most people's head, not trying to be mean. But it is true. We're all learning here. I'm learning every day. That's for sure. And what do we got? Anything that looks really all that cool? Not really. Fala, I know. Manga Network, Power Protocol, Punk Strategy. We've been over those. Firo, Privacy Coin. We've been over that a bunch of times. Falcon Finance is newer, but we've been over it. Barachain was one of the top, gainers on Saturday, I believe it was. Trying to keep all of that stuff straight. And the white whale is the top loser of the day at 36.5%. This is how meme coins roll. They pump, they dump, people move on. Then you have probably like the black whale and the purple whale and the yellow whale and the, all the different types of whales, the orca whale, whatever. And people move on. Liquidity to the next thing, to the next thing. The volume is $51.1 million. A lot of that's probably on leverage to get up to those numbers, but money in the market nonetheless. World asset, just a frog. Okay, I tried 3 different cards. My payment method is not accepted. Man. That's very weird, Blue Sky, because you can send super chats. So, are you using the same card as super chats? In my understanding, it doesn't usually make you put in a new payment thing. It usually just makes you click a couple buttons because your payment should already be in there. It's the same thing it uses for super chats. I don't know, brother. I wish I knew how to help you, but I don't. Maybe Melissa or somebody could give you a little bit more help than me. So top gainers, top losers, that's really all of it for tonight. And for there, we are rolling into 2 hours and 12 minutes of streaming on a Monday night. I hope everybody has enjoyed the stream. I hope we covered a lot of things that helped you understand. And let's go take a look at what BTC is doing. Is it bouncing? Are we bouncing? Barely. Barely bouncing. Well, like I've said, money printer models, Fibonacci, all of that stuff. If you break this bottom line over here, you can throw all that out the window. So I'll go ahead. I'll just mark it. Why not at least mark that? And I have alerts set up on my actual trading view. And here we are. Down to the wire. Now I'm going to port us back over to Bookmap real quick. And let's see if that moved at all. All right, very interesting. Oh, that's not what I'm trying to move. Make that just a little bit bigger. Could even remove myself out of it so it's a little easier to see. There we go. Blues guy figured it out. Welcome, welcome to the membership section with the custom emojis. It's going down. Blues, have you tried a trade open? Not sure what he means by that. Yeah, I'm in Canada here. Everything is wild or weird, I think is what he meant. Welcome in, welcome in. We have a new member. Thank you very much for doing that. Thank you for being here. Look at you now, Doctor. I like how he calls you Dr. Blue. That's pretty funny. I like that. And as soon as we get 8 members, I will add some more custom emojis. Let's see, did they place those 22 bajillion, I'm just kidding, 22,000 BTC anywhere else? Nope, they sure didn't. And they cut it off back here. And now we don't have any big liquidity on either side. They got it to pull back. It seems to me like they do that to try to get it to pull back to a certain place. Is there music playing still? Did we lose the music? No, it's done playing music. I don't like that. Let's get that music back and rocking. All right, fixed it. Now we got music again. And I like to stay a little more zoomed in here on the book map. 92,490. Looks like you're getting a little bit of the move back up. You do have some liquidity under us. You got liquidity on every side. I noticed that a lot of times when it starts getting later, other than whoever's playing around with that big liquidity, a lot of times there's about equal liquidity on either side, and it just ranges very minutely back and forth. And that's what kind of gives us our, range that we get stuck in for a while until something moves. All right, I'll put myself back on the screen here. And I'll port us over, oops, clicking the wrong things. Port us back over to, nope, that's not it. There we go, that's where we want to be. All right, and we talked about this enough. If we break this bottom line, we're in some hot trouble. As of right now, I see this a lot with the money printer model, all right? Is you get this like 786 bounce, and then it pumps, and then it goes deeper, like way deeper, and then it pumps again. Not saying that that's going to happen. Previous price action is not indicative to future price action. But I would say that there's a probability there if we're in the money printer model. I wish Master Friend was here to tell us how he feels about that. And let's go to the underground crypto hangout section of the night, where I just thank everybody for being here. I thank everybody for being a part of this community. We are still growing. A couple people, 2 people at least today that I know of joined the Discord. People are joining the Discord. Not everybody who joins is going to want to chat all the time. That is a rare breed. All I really ask and hope is that they don't post spam and that they're not scammers, right? Be very careful in the Discord or anywhere that you go in crypto with links. Somebody says, hey, take a look at this article, and they post a link. I don't know. It might not be the article. Go look it up. Now, you always take your risk. You do what you want. But, with people who you know and you talk to all the time, I'm less weary about it. But a lot of times I won't click the link. I will go to Twitter and just search the thing, and I will find it myself. And if it never comes up, well, then there's a good chance that link is not something you want to click on. I don't think Camp's still here. I think he had to go put his boys to bed. He probably told us at some point. Flare to the moon, he says. That was the last thing he said. If anybody wants to play some Panzer Dogs, let me know. I'm going to hop in a quick round. They're pretty short, just so that I can keep the ball rolling here. We love DeFi gaming over here. That is for sure. We were playing some Axie Infinity the other day. Why is it not connecting? This is weird. Let's refresh it. I don't know why it's not connecting. There we go. Blues guy found the special emojis there. It's hilarious. You could just put like the underground logo when you're trying to get my attention. How did your Cosmo game? Oh, I have that up. I'll show that real quick. Hey, there you go. Yep, that's all 4 of them. I really wish I could have gave you guys more than 4. I was like ready to sit down and make like 10, 12, 15 of them. And then it stopped me at 4. Blues guy super chatted $2.79. I'm not sure. Was that like a sticker or something? Or did you like, did you not type anything? I'm trying to figure out why it didn't count. Oh, I think, wait, no. I know sometimes you can send like a members chat or whatever, like once a month or something like that. I don't know how often you can do it. I'm still new to a lot of this stuff, honestly. But either way, I don't know why that. Oh, is it a sticker? It says vibes. I like that. It's cool, but it didn't count towards our goal. Where we were 1 away from our goal, and I thought that was going to hit it right there. That would have been cool. But anyways, thank you very much. Yeah, that's a sticker. Okay. I don't think I've ever really seen anybody send a sticker. I've been tempted to send one a few times over on the Lifer channel, and I never really did it. But thank you very much. I appreciate that, man. That's really cool. Melissa, to answer your question, I don't know what else to do anymore. I think I did everything. All there is to like stack money and collect the like random things that go around. Oh, you've sent a sticker before. Okay, maybe I thought it was a chat. Maybe I missed it or something. Now I feel bad. Now you make me feel bad, Melissa. I should know that. Maybe I did know that and I forgot. I'm going to go with that one. Yeah, there's just some money sitting over here. Yeah, I pretty much don't know what to do here anymore other than to try to search down these like special little creatures. I have like, the only upgrade I can do is the bag. And, oh, Melissa, I figured out how to use the little restaurant thing. You might have just saw me do it here a minute ago. Says, I think I did everything in that game too for now. Yeah, hopefully they give us some upgrades. I mean, did you upgrade all of the, I don't know, the little characters that they have run around the board? You upgrade all of those? Like this little tree here, you had the mushrooms. Not sure if I can upgrade it. Oh, look, I can upgrade it to level 2. That's the first thing I've upgraded to level 2, but what does it do? It just says it's genuinely magic. Oh, and you can toggle through all the other ones? Okay. Yeah, it's the only one that I've upgraded. Oh, no, not yet. Yeah, that's all I really have left to do. And then we couldn't figure out the whole restaurant thing the other day. I just wanted to show you. Grab the beetroot for me. It says there's 4 different ingredients, but when I fill my inventory with the other ingredients, it doesn't do anything. It only does anything if I have the beetroot, right? So you'll see that this is like a big soup bowl, and it fills up, and you have to like go to the side here, and you'll see them go in. See them going in? And then this thing will fill up as it fills up, right? And it holds a lot. Like I think I just put like 1,600 beetroot in there. Hopefully they keep expanding this thing. There's a lot of room on the map for them to add some more cool stuff. I love just, you know, people who are actively building and doing stuff. And then, unfortunately, at some point, they tend to just fall off. This thing has a little building hammer, but there's like nothing to build over here. Don't really know what the point is. Maybe that's where the next stuff will come. Oh, I see a little worm running around. But yeah, pretty much all there is for me to do is to fill up the restaurant, which pays quite a bit of money, and then to grab these little critters that run around and try to upgrade. And that's pretty much all I got. Restaurant? Yeah, the restaurant over here. Oh yeah, okay, she got it. All right. I gotta read the full of the chat. Anyways, I'd love to play that game more, but I have no idea what to do. It's not as much fun when you can't unlock anything. But shout out to Melissa, because it's thanks to you that we even know that game. And guys, we are so close to getting monetized. It's a big deal for me. I have absolutely no idea how much money I'll even make from doing it. And I could go on the whole tangent about how it's not about the money, because it's not. It's about me being able to put way more time into the channel, which is true. But it takes money to do that. And I don't know. Will I make an extra $100 a month, $500 a month, or will it be like 50 cents? That I do not know. Oh, I found you. Got him. Sometimes I swear I'm better at shooting him blindly in the grass. Not that that was a good representation of it, but... Oh yeah, he running. Bang. Got him with the rocket. Smoked him. Yo, I had all shots on point there. Underground, you should not speak of this, should you? Speak of what? Being monetized? I don't see any reason not to speak of it. It's a goal of the channel. I'm assuming you're talking about being monetized, and it's to everybody's benefit once I get monetized, because I will be investing even more time in great crypto content for you. Absolutely. Is he hiding in our base? All right, that's game 9-1. I think it's like every 10 views is a hundo. 10,000 views is a hundo. Maybe. I have no idea. I have watched some other YouTubers who talk about it. I remember one guy who would talk about it a lot. That's like what his channel is about, right? It's about like helping people, whatever. And he only had like 3,000 followers, and he'd make a few hundred for sure. But I don't know how many views he got on all of his videos. I just know how many followers he had. I see the noise around the whole Twitter X implementing, like, what was it, perpetuals or something? Or I think it was just crypto tipping and stuff. What was it again? Now I don't remember, now that I start talking about it. But anyways, yeah, that hype has died down now that BTC has been falling. All right, so we got a nice bounce back up to 92,400. Liquidity still pretty even on either side. I see us just kind of chilling right now. It really depends on the views. Yeah, I'm sure it does. I'm not expecting it to be like suddenly a bunch of money. Not at all. But any more money is more money. And any more money validates more time not spent on other businesses. I really want to just like make just tons of crypto content, and that's it. Even though I really do love my resale business. I like that business a lot. It's great money, and it's a lot of fun to do. It's like thrifting and stuff. It's like you're on the hunt for stuff all the time. And then you find like just treasures, you know, things you're going to buy for like $1 that are worth $300-400, and you're like, your percentage, you know, if you think about trading, you know, a lot of times they say it's not about how much money, it's about the percentage you make. That's the resale business in a nutshell. It's like sometimes you'll make hundreds of percentiles. I dare even say thousands. It's like we found a shirt the other day. Now it retails brand new for like $2,600. It's one of those super high-end luxury brands. Just a t-shirt, man. Somebody paying $2,600. Honestly, I think they're out of their mind. And of course, we can't sell it for that, right? We're not going to sell it for $2,600, but you can get $800 for it. Probably paid 50 cents for it, man. The thrill of the hunt. I love some resale. Got him. Had to chase him into his own base, but I got him. 10-3. Oh yeah, I know it's coming, Blues Guy. Thank you though. I absolutely love everybody in the community. It's amazing. It's amazing, honestly, to just have people to talk to and share what I love with. And I'm sure that you guys feel the same, because these kind of communities, they're a little hard to find. And there's other crypto communities, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them are not as niched out as we are, in my opinion. We do it our own way. Mindful in the way you say, like, I only have this many and it takes time. Positive. Okay. Most channels have less than half of the subscribers actually watching the channel. Oh yeah. But it really helps so your channel can stand out. It's coming, bro. Yeah, it absolutely does. I mean, look at Lifer's live streams. I mean, he has 100,000 subs. And I mean, and it's good numbers. He has great numbers. I'm not saying nothing, but you know, it's 1.5, anywhere from 1,200 to maybe 2,000 people, which is a lot of people watching you live in YouTube. That's really good. But if you think of the ratio to 100,000, you're absolutely right. That's like 98% of the people subbed to you don't watch you, especially on a daily basis. Hourly candle is about to close. Hope BTC gets the dump. Let's go take a look at that. Let's go take a look at trading view on the hour. When does it close? Oh, it just closed. Okay. It looks like a double bottom if you could bounce here. Again, just looking to not lose my bottom line, the bottom wick down here, and it made that wick really deep, kind of like that. If you had to go off the other wick, we would have already broke it. So and we still got chainers farming a little bit of BNB. And yeah, I'm gonna go sell some of these veggies here. And we're going to see what we get for it. Let's see, did they already pay out? Yeah, they already paid out the other one. So let's see. Not a lot, 0.0003. But mind you, BNB is worth like $990 something or whatever. Something in that range, over $900. So the amount you're going to get is going to be small. It's not going to look like a lot. And I've gotten up to 0.005. I think last time I looked it was like 40 cents when it was 4. So this is probably like 55 cents or something. It's nothing crazy. I probably could get a lot more, a lot faster if I actually like constantly did this. But I don't. I have stuff to do. I can't sit here and do that all day. But I like messing around with it. It is DeFi. Oh, look at that. They just added this atom caster, which basically just gives me like a random item. I need more plots of land. Yeah, it's just giving me seeds. I need more plots so that I can plant more stuff at a time so I can earn more. Hit these daily rewards. Let's claim that daily reward. Get our immutable gems. Sure, on the immutable X chain. I have no idea what to do with them. All of that good stuff, I have no idea. And there we go. What do we get? We got a bunch of fertilizer. Fertilizer's cool. You use it to upgrade things, or you can use it to speed up your plants. I don't like to waste my stuff. I just stack them. And then you're back to the farm. That's that. We already talked about the Cosmos Cadia. I don't know. I've never actually tried to say the full name. I'm just going to call it Cosmos. It's cool, but I've run out of stuff to do. Hopefully they come out with like a full version. And then we've got the Fogo fish mining thing. But it's cool. It's cool just messing around with Fogo, as it is kind of new. It's in the Solana virtual machine niche. I like the idea of kind of not having to log in constantly. Here, let me click AutoCast so I don't forget. And then you go up here and you'll see you have your wallet, and you have what they say session, and you'll see it says 1 week. I'll click update my limit, and I'll approve it to update it, so it'll keep me logged in. So anything I do, I can keep doing. It'll keep me logged in for my mining, I assume. And it's cool. And then so when you get these fish, they show up as a coin. I think it's just called fish coin or whatever. And they're unprocessed. So you go to process, and you have an extra yield that you earn. Right now it's 3,700 extra, so I'd have 10,700. Basically for holding it. So the longer you hold it, the more extra you get on top, because they make you pay a fee every time you cash out. They take a percentage of that and they redistribute it to all the people who are holding. So it incentivizes people to hold for the bigger payout. I like that. All right, hope BTC gets bounced. All right, gang, nice hanging out with all of you. Have a blessed night. Thank you for being here. And I'm probably going to hop off myself. I would be lying if I said I wasn't very tired. I'm exhausted. I don't know why I'm so exhausted, but I am. Sometimes you just don't even know why. All right, I'm just thinking for a minute. Is there anything else I want to cover? Cool, we got 4 out of 5 of the super chats. That's awesome. A couple of people signed up for the membership. That's even more awesome. That makes my hard work, hours of making custom emojis worth it. So thank you very much. And you know, everybody stay underground, stay crypto. Shout out to the people here. Smash the like button, subscribe, and don't forget that there is a link to our free Discord where we hang out when we're not streaming. We got voice channels in there, all kinds of community stuff going on. That will be pinned in the chat, so don't sleep on that. And then I'm just gonna go look at the specs real quick before I actually hop off and see how many people we had come through the stream tonight. So 88 people came through the stream tonight. That's pretty cool. We got a sticker. We got the fan funding. We got 4 super chats. We had Happy Monday from Melissa. We had just adding to my margin. Don't liquidate me, baby, from Camsta. They're talking about adding to our margins. Blues Guy came in, said, gratitude, Underground, my man. Sorry I'm tied up, 30 minutes-ish, keeping us updated, letting us know. That's awfully nice of you to do. And then Frank Glacier, which for some reason I couldn't say before, he gave $3.33. So I'm thinking he must be a lifer, right? Said, I appreciate your BTC TA and bookmap. Thank you. Cool. That was awesome. And then, then we have Blues Guy got in to the membership and he dropped a sticker. Great stuff. Great night. I call that a success. I call that a mission complete. You can count the super emoji as a super chat. Oh, I do. I say we hit the goal. And, you know, it's not about that. I just throw a goal because it gives us, I don't know, it's a feature and I should probably use it, right? That's how I look at it. But I appreciate all of you guys more than you'll ever know. Stay underground, stay crypto. I will see you tomorrow night. You know, we'll be streaming again tomorrow night. Yeah, something to look forward to. And I'll see you there. 8:30 p.m. New York time. All right. Always, I'll say goodbye like 100 times. Stay underground. Stay crypto. Crypto Ron out.